Okay, family, we back with another one. Like I say, Mama Azeen and Shaka Zulu, they gonna come back through to the Livest Network. I asked Mama Azeen would she, basically allow for, some of the goddesses on the Beam team to be able to, ask some questions, in reference to the things that took place in carbonation as well as the stuff that's going on right now. For the A, one time with the one time. This for the 2020 right here. Yeah, this for the 2020 clear vision. And so I'm gonna make sure I need everybody on deck. We here for it. Let me see if I can go ahead and get the people plugged all the way in. For some reason now you're not connecting. You're not connecting, Nelly. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, you're not connecting right now. Let's see if I can get your connection together right quick. And we'll go ahead and then proceed. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and send the signs to Mama Zine right now. Yeah, that way then we ain't even got to worry about dropping it nowhere else. You see now. Nah, we still don't have no connection from you, Nelly. How's everybody feeling for this new year, Jim Jank? Y'all ready to step up in this shit? Oh yeah. Shout out to Cheryl. I see you out there. Shout out to Master P. Master P ought to be through in a little bit. He probably on the Jim Jank right now working on something. Yeah, she probably over there right now getting it in. You know, I already know how it go. It was super lit today. If you ain't smashed that like already, go ahead and smash that like button. What up, Lady Leo? Red Queens, what's good with it? Miss Ash, what up? Gang, gang, what up, K? Gang, gang. Yeah, for some reason you don't have your connection's not good, Nelly. I don't know what's going on. Oh, so she in here now? Okay, I didn't even see. I had been switching screens trying to make sure I get this live stream going. I had a long day. I had a very insightful. Oh my goodness, man! The meeting was invigorating. Well, we got a lot done in a short amount of time, man. Beamteam make it make sense. Yeah, I'll be having some more people on the Rinse gang too, man. Once the child join in on the meeting, so that we can be able to cover everything that's going on over here. Yeah, we want everybody on the same page, man. All our moderators, everybody that's tuning in. Like I say, everybody welcome to comment. You can share the live stream, bring a few people in. We'll make an attempt to be able to get some more answers, from all this stuff that's going on right now. And I have our guest that's already up in the building.
Peace.
Peace, Mama Zine. What's good?
I'm well. How are you?
Hey, I'm here. I'm great. I had the sisters that were supposed to be up here interviewing you, but I guess I'll go ahead and conduct it, until that they get here. How's everything going?
Everything's going well over here, actually. No
Okay.
complaints.
Okay, word. All right, so where's the God? Is the God Shaka around as well?
Oh yeah, he's just getting the baby handled for me, so I don't have him, interrupting. And he'll be right back.
Okay, all right, bet. So let me ask you, now's a good time, right?
You said now's the time?
I say now a good time for you?
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So today, when you was tuning in on Master P's Bigo today, the stuff that True was saying to you, it's like, well, not you, but he was saying to Shaka, which is definitely, what I'm saying, your God. But the stuff that he was saying, it's like he was trying to shut, Shaka down from talking or whatever. How did you feel about that?
Actually, I was hurt because the whole time they're saying we gotta respect, the family and not talk about the family business. But at the end of the day, the family is fucked up. Like the family hurt me, disrespecting me and my husband. And yeah, we don't want to talk about that though. We just want to talk about how we're exposing him to the world, and we gotta expose this man because he's paying himself to be something he's not, and he's fooling a lot of people. So my experience is showing people that this man is not who he's saying he is. And at the end of the day, he's not going to own up. He's going to blame it on me. He tried to blame it on me first off. He tried to flip it on me. And that's why it's like, no, we can't talk to y'all about it, because he's going to make us sound totally different from what the actual situation is, and make himself look better, and everyone's going to have his back. Because even in the moment when I was in the bathroom and Syrian was there, she told me to
Right.
be grateful. In that moment I knew no one was going to help me, because she
Right.
told me to be grateful, and nothing about that was greatness to me. You feel me? So no, we can't have a conversation with y'all about nothing, because y'all are going to tell us that we need to stop running from ourselves. Like, okay.
So did that seem like at all odd to you when she asked the question? I mean, like when she said that about being grateful or being thankful, so to say, even though he violated you?
Absolutely. Because already Siri and I were having like issues in that spiritual bath. We were kind of healing through those issues, and when she said that, everything went out the window. I'm like, nah, nothing about this. Nobody should be grateful if you're married. You know, if you have a man already, like that's disrespect to the most. Like, and I'm vulnerable. You know, this is my spiritual bath, mind you. Like, this is supposed to be my healing time. This is supposed to be my cleansing time, and you're coming in and you're disrupting it. And then you got people in here telling you that that's a good thing. Like, no, that's not. That's fucked up. I don't like that.
I recall you saying that, he basically, what I'm saying, thought that you wasn't going to say anything to your husband. At the time when that happened, what was it that Nature Boy said to you after he exposed himself?
Literally, he said, "What happens? Like, don't tell anybody. This stays between you and me. Keep this
Hmm.
between you and me." He said that to me several times that night. But no, I told my husband immediately, because that's not who I am, and I don't need that man thinking that I have loyalty for him over my husband, because I don't. My husband comes first for me. So, yeah, he just kept telling me, keep this between you and me. And even when I told him I felt disrespected, he basically says, "I like you though," as if that's supposed to change my feelings because you like me now. I feel even more disgusted now that you told me you like me.
What was the atmosphere like after that? I mean, being that he said that, about not saying anything to your husband, to your king, to your God, he said all that. What was the atmosphere after that? What did you feel like?
Uncomfortable, because at that point it became more. I became more aware of his movements. He was looking at me a lot, like all the time. He was looking at me, and it was uncomfortable.
Even
Yeah.
when Shaka, even when you was around, I mean, like when you and Shaka were like in his presence.
So what happened was, Shaka ended up putting himself on like isolation or whatever. So Shaka and I weren't around each other as often. Like we went to the beach the next day, and after that happened, we went to the beach, and I couldn't even sit with Shaka. Like it was really hard, because I couldn't even sit next to my husband because he had to be away from me. They forced him to be away from me, and I'm looking up, and this man is constantly looking at me. And I remember one time I asked him if I could hit his little pin. I asked him if I could
Right.
hit his pin, and I was asking for all the women. However, he only allowed me to hit it. And the whole time I was hitting it, he's just watching me and looking at me. And I was like, this is weird. And my husband's on isolation again. He's not even in the room. He's in the garage by himself. And I
Mm.
and I had to text him everything that was going on. And I was like texting him like, what we about to do, because this is not cool. And he had us all dancing. He had us all get up and do dances in front of everybody, and it's like I was uncomfortable. He wanted us to dance sexy. He wanted us to shake our hips, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. However, it's like if we don't participate, it's going to be a whole other thing. And it's funny, actually. We had to choose a song, right? Everyone had to
Mhm.
choose a song, and we had to dance. And I chose the song. Um, what's the song by Beyonce and Jay-Z? The Bonnie and Clyde song.
Right.
I chose that song, and when I chose that song, he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is a real nigga moment. We need to have a conversation," but we never did. But that's how I felt. Like Bonnie and Clyde, like we was about to escape. I was telling them we about to leave. I gave them a warning. But they
So
didn't say
were
nothing.
the women like at all like trying to come on to you like within when y'all dancing, or was it just him that you got all the energy from?
It was just him I got all the energy from. It was just him. The women
I'm
weren't
not.
really fucking with me like that.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't no
Mm.
whole lot of conversation with them.
No, I really didn't converse with the women. Like I said, I didn't trust any of them. It's hard to trust them. Because at the
Hmm.
end of the day, if you express anything to them, they just gonna tell on you.
I get that. I see now that all of them do that little report, and you're not the first person. You know what I'm saying? That's just said that. So
Yeah.
I gotta ask you. You know what I'm saying? With everything that's going on right now with the Because I even seen, like I say, Shaka came to my Bigo. He was on the Bigo joint. So with
Right.
all this stuff that's going on right now, and of course, you know what I'm saying, you being around, Velvet at the time, what do you think about this whole thing with her being on Bigo now? You know what I'm saying? Being that Nature Boy is over there too. What do you think about that? You
Listen,
think that
honestly, I think the same thing about everybody because literally my husband and I started the bingo thing. We introduced Nature
mm,
Boy to it. So it's like, and having had conversations with Velvet since she left, like she's really just trying to create her own like way of making money for her daughter. So I see her just going on there for that now. Why she follows Nature Boy? That's really a good question. That's a good
hmm,
question. That's weird. That makes me like think about it, but same time, I think she is going there to try to make some money because she's talking all this stuff online. You might as well go get some beans for it, right?
hey, why not? And then I got to ask now. I mean, so what was the temperature like between you and Velvet? Like when you was there, when you was around her, how did she act?
Actually, Velvet. Okay, for the only women that I actually felt like I could probably connect with would be like Velvet and Star. And I was there because, like I said, Star
Star.
was the only one that actually expressed wanting to learn me. And Velvet, she's the only one who really treated my son well. She's the only one who really treated my son well. Whenever I saw my son around her, she always gave him, she always made sure he ate and she always treated him well. So, and I tried to talk to her, but she was always locked up in the room for whatever reason. She was always locked up in the room, but it's hard to really learn anybody authentically there because nobody's going to be themselves out of fear, right? So I already knew that I wasn't going to be able to really create any real bonds with those people.
So nothing was authentic other than was it like programmed with them? Did they seem like robotic or something or whatever? Because I
Um,
mean,
robot. I don't know about robotic, but definitely they're programmed. I know F. She's like a regurgitator. Her downloads are literally the same exact words Nature Boy just spoke to us like the moment before. So she's literally just she wants to be exactly him or whatever. So that's basically what everybody is. They want to be him. They want to be close
okay,
to him. They want to be really close to him, and they'll do anything they can to do that, even if that means throwing their sisters under the bus.
okay. I got one of the sisters from the Beam
Okay.
Team newsroom that's up in the building. What's up, Nelly? What's good with it?
Hello, Mama Azeen.
Peace.
Welcome. Thank you for having coming to see us here.
Right.
Appreciate it so much.
I'm grateful.
You got any questions for Mama Z?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry for my the technical issues I was having.
Mhm.
Um, well, can you just like start from the beginning? From the time from the beginning of going there, and just work your way on down to current.
Okay. Okay. When we first got the phone call, I had the phone in my hand and I saw Nature Boy was calling and I was like, "Bro, Nature Boy is calling you." And prior to that, I told Shaka like they're because I knew they were coming from Hawaii, so I was like, they're probably gonna end up in Cali. And then he called us, so that was like surprising. But we answered and he asked us. He said, "We only have $1,000. Can y'all help us out? Because we know y'all out here." And we was like, "Okay." We talked about it, and I'm like, I'm willing to give about $3,000 towards the Airbnb. That's what I first agreed on. And then when I was looking, Cali expensive, so it was a lot. So I ended up, getting an Airbnb for a month. So I was like, at the end of the day, if I was in that situation, regardless of what I've done or what I've said, I would want somebody to help me if I really needed help. So that's what I did. I want my karmic debt to be, canceled, and I want my karma to be pure and for my children, if anything. So I wanted to help, and that's all. Because there are women and children there that I care for, regardless of everybody else. So we got them the Airbnb, we got them in, we hung out sometimes. I was like, I really don't want to be there like that, but I'm down to, just hang out just to see what they're like. The women, they're cool, but they're not the most welcoming people to be around. Because they're in their own heads, I guess. They got their own things going on. Everybody, mind you, the women had just had to be separated from Nature Boy, like the Malia and the Efru and Aya had just had to leave Nature Boy because Velvet just got back and stuff like that. So they were all going to their own things, and we'd leave and come back, and I think the men really wanted Shaka to stay. Now the women never expressed to me they wanted me to stay, but the men were always telling Shaka, stay the night, especially Nature Boy. So we spent the night one night because it was late. We watched a movie and it was late, and we was like, let's just stay, and we stayed. And I guess at that point we became members when we spent the night. I didn't know I was gonna be a member, but I became a member. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And after that, that's when the first meeting happened. Because now he's like, okay, now these people are officially here. And now we're going to have a meeting. And I really forget the full context of the meeting. But it just started off with him asking us a bunch of questions and things like that. And they felt like we didn't see him as the Messiah. Oh, because they asked my husband, you think you could do what I'm doing? And he said yes. And that's just, you're not supposed to say that clearly because it's a test. But he said it, and that became a conversation for 3 days. Like literally 3 days, we had meetings about it. And the third day, I was like, okay, I'm going to say it. You're the Messiah. Because I'm like, and I kept telling Shaka, like, if we're going to be here, then we got to play by their rules because we chose to be here. So even if we got to play the game for a little while, let's just play the game. Like, it doesn't have to be real. Just do your part if we're going to be a part of this. So that's why on the third day, I'm like, I'm tired of sitting here for 10 hours talking about this. So listen, you're the Messiah. You win. I said it. Shaka finally came down to it too. And I'm like, great. Now we're done with these meetings, right? Continue. There was this one night, and I was with the women in the back. They were just all talking with each other. I was quiet because, like, I think this was like the second night I was there, and I'm not the most talkative person around people I don't know, so I'm just listening. And Sybil was like, she got on my ass. She was like, "Why are you here? You're being a vampire. You're not saying nothing." She was like, "You're just here to get drama, and you're gonna leave, and you're gonna talk about us to the tea and shit like that." And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm just here to learn. Like, I'm just here to learn as much as I can. Sheba was like, "Yeah, why are you here?" Right? That conversation happened, and I was like, "All right, it's like 2 o'clock. I'm going to bed now." They were still talking, and that's when I went to the room, and that's when the whole sex thing that Sybil talked about happened, where we made a movie, as they call it. And all the women came out, and I could just hear them saying, "Oh, y'all so disrespectful. That's so nasty." And Nature Boy thought it was funny. He was laughing. He was like, "Oh, y'all want to go in there and get fucked too, huh?" Making a joke, telling them, especially Malia, like, "Get your ass in here, go sit down." He came for Star, hella foul. He was coming for them all hella foul. I fell asleep during that though. It was just too much. And so that happened, and the women felt a way about me after that as well because they felt like I was disrespectful because of the conversation we had in the room before about me being more involved or some shit. I don't know. And so that happened, and so it was just weird with the women. They just felt a way to me because of the fact that we feel like we could do what they're doing, and we feel like he's not the Messiah or whatever. Um, so I was just really trying to do my own thing, just blend in as much as I can. Um, Sybil always really stayed away from me, which was fine with me. Like I didn't care. Sybil was a weirdo. They're all weirdos. They're all weirdos for their own reason.
Say Sybil
Um,
was a weirdo.
yeah, Sybil a weirdo because because she was only worried about Nature Boy. That's all she was worried about. That's all it was. And she was very they called her, she was just too Babylon for them, I guess. She was a surface dweller, they said. I don't know. I didn't give them that much energy. I was just trying to make it work as best as I can because it was just uncomfortable being there. And then July 4th happened. And that was very hard to be a part of. And I always apologize for it because I felt like I beat her that night too just for standing there watching it. But, people got to go through their own experiences. And I tell Velvet Amy to this day, like, I apologize for that, and I'm always here for you. I always want to be here for women. And so the July 4th happened, continue, we still staying there, and we're going to, and it's funny, actually, my husband lost his ID, because we were going to fly to Vegas
Okay.
from Cali. My husband lost his ID, and I was like, bruh, this is our get out of jail free card. Like, we don't have to go to Vegas. I was like, we don't got to go to Vegas. We don't got to go because you don't got your ID, and I'm not going without you. But they had him drive there, so we ended up still staying. And we get to Vegas, and in Vegas, things were cool. Things were getting worse, I guess, between Nature Boy and Eliana because they were having more meetings about their relationship, and she was, he was just big on really being polygamous, and she wasn't about that life. She doesn't want to be polygamous, and she told him over and over and over, that's not what I want. But she also said, that's what you want, then be that, but don't let me stop you. And I respected her for that. She was like, I don't want to be that, but I bet you be that. She didn't want to stop him from being who he was, but he was stopping himself and forcing her to stay. So, and then the spiritual night bath happened, and so the way that started was the women had a meeting, And it was mostly about me and my relationship with my husband. Again, they tried to break us up, and they were trying to ask me about my mother and my father and how they raised me and things like that. And I told them I grew up in a great household, and because of that, they were confused as to why I was even on this type of journey. And I was confused as to why they were confused. Cause I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just found this information, you know? Like, I guess I didn't have to go through getting beat up to be able to be enlightened. And they were really pressed about me having mommy daddy issues. I'm gonna tell you that they were like, your parents probably argued, because my parents never argued in front of me ever. Like, they never did, and they were like, but your parents were toxic, and I'm like, maybe, but I'm not aware of that. That's not in my reality. But they were really pressed about that, and they had a whole meeting about it, and then we decided let's have spiritual baths.
Yeah,
And
the
so
spiritual bath. We here now. The spirit. What? Can you explain what the spiritual bath is?
Okay, so spiritual bath is basically you put intentions into your bath. You could put herbs in it, essential oils, flowers, and the whole point is to cleanse yourself spiritually from whatever you need cleansing from. And so that's what spiritual baths are like basically. And so everyone, and also the women just stunk, so they needed baths. Period. So we just
What?
decided we just decided to make it a whole thing.
Yeah, because Shaka was saying they was kind of funky the other night. You know what I'm saying? He said
Yeah.
that like
Yeah, they were. And I'm gonna be honest, Sheba was probably the strongest smelling one. Like whenever she walked in the room, you knew she was there. You could smell her probably before you see her.
can you
And
low key like kind of describe like what that smell was like?
she smelled like sweaty armpits, sweaty gym socks, like basically like she didn't wash her armpits in a while. Like
And
we
what
all know
she
what armpits smell like when they get funky. Like that's what she smelled like, straight armpit. Um, and the women actually enjoyed their natural smell. Like I remember Aya and Malia saying they liked the way their armpits smelled. So I'm like, to each their own. Like I wore deodorant, and that day actually we were all in the room, and he asked everyone to raise their armpits, Nature Boy, so he could smell everybody. And I was the only one wearing deodorant. He was like, "We don't wear deodorant here," and I'm like, "I mean, I do because that's what makes me comfortable, but." So yeah, that's part of the reason as well why we had to have spiritual baths, because the women just weren't taking care of themselves. Like Sheba had to have a talk with Velvet actually about her hygiene, and Velvet had to help her with her hygiene. So I'm grateful for that, because after that conversation, she started smelling better. She did. She actually started bathing, and she actually expressed that she didn't want to shower a lot because of the chemicals in the water. So she really stopped herself from showering. So yeah, we decided to have a spiritual bath, and then on top of that, we decided to get Patron tequila.
oh
Yeah, we Nature Boy made the men go out and buy tequila, and when they came back, we all had to take shots. And Soka didn't want to take a shot, but Nature Boy started yelling at her like, "Nigga, you out of tune. Like you do what I tell you to do." Period. He kept calling her child a demon child and shit like that, and it was just fucked up.
oh
He
she
made her.
was pregnant then. She was pregnant then.
Yeah, this was only in July. She was pregnant in July.
Oh wow.
She knew she was pregnant, and she was willing to do anything she had to do to get in good graces with Nature Boy, even if that meant getting rid of her child. Like, even if that meant getting rid of her child, like, she was willing to do that. Because Nature Boy put it in her head that her baby was a demon because it wasn't created in the tropics. I think she got pregnant in Atlanta. So,
Right.
because she didn't get pregnant in the tropics, that child was the demon. My baby was a demon because it wasn't a tropical baby. So yeah, he made us take shots. We all took about 6 shots that night. Every one of us had to take a shot.
About 6.
About 6. And I
I
breastfeed. I
remember that
really didn't
night.
want to take shots either because I breastfeed, but like we had to. He was like on our ass if we didn't take a shot, like on our ass. And so, now he lit and he's taking shots with us upstairs and the men downstairs. So that's about 6 shots upstairs and at least minimum 6 shots downstairs with the men. So Nature Boy was double loaded.
Hold
He
on,
was
let me ask
double
you
loaded.
this. So when you say up and downstairs, the women and the men,
Yeah.
so being that your husband is a man,
Mm-hmm.
how did you get upstairs with the women, which would be considered as his women? How you get up there?
Well, the women and the men were separated. So husbands and wives didn't really spend time together unless they were eating their solar new meal. That's the only time. And when we went to bed at night, that was the only time we really spent together. Otherwise, the men and women were always separated.
So that's what you mean when you said that when you were in the bathroom, What you're saying is he has clearance just to be able to walk between the divided men and women.
First off, I remember when the first time I was in carbonation in Mexico, that first day he let me take a shower upstairs in his room, and he told me we don't lock doors here, and and so fast forward to that time in California and Vegas, he would walk in the room. He don't knock. He'll just open the door, even if you're on the toilet taking a shower. He don't knock. He has all access to just walk in whenever he wants to. Definitely.
Wow.
So
So so let me ask. So when you were speaking about the breastfeeding, you know what I'm saying, and and he was still, trying to coerce you with the shots and stuff. So was it allowed, being that you were upstairs, like were the men allowed to see you topless or naked for that matter, if y'all were?
no, they actually have like a dress code. And it's because they told me because like I said, the first time in Mexico, we had to walk around with no shirts on, only like the
Right.
bottom on, but no shirts. So, when I get there this next time, I'm dressing however I want to, and they're telling me, no, you got to be more conservative because it's such a tight space. We don't want to tempt our brothers. And I'm just in my mind, it's like that's not my problem. I guess that's their problem to handle, but. So we had to dress a certain way. You couldn't show off your cleavage. You couldn't show off your butt. Like you literally had to cover up everything. So
Mm.
the men were not allowed to see the women naked at all.
So when you spoke about the meetings, right?
Hmm.
What did the meetings consist of when y'all did have this meeting?
It depends. Sometimes it was about relationship problems or whatever's going on. Like sometimes we'll have a meeting where Nature Boy and Velvet are handling their business. Those first 3 days of meetings were about me and Shaka, mostly about Shaka and his feelings like he could be Nature Boy. Everyone felt a way about that. Like that really made everybody upset.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, we had meetings every day, and it was about something different. Like sometimes only the women would have a meeting, and he'd go in on Malia and Aya. He'd tell them they do nothing for him. He'd tell me they do nothing for him, and they don't bring nothing to the table. He'll kick them out right then and there. Like it was just weird. Like the meetings were always about somebody being fucked up or doing something fucked up.
Mm. Nelly, you got any questions for Mama Z?
So he, when you all went to sleep, did he allow the women to sleep with their husband at that time?
I mean, yes, he did. That was the only time you were allowed to be with your husband. And when it came to me and Shaka, he told us, he said, I always give everybody a choice and people make their own choices. And he told us, y'all shouldn't be together. Y'all need to just take a break. And he was like, take this break and then you'll be able to come back together. And it's like, nah, we don't need a break. So we didn't do what he said. And he got mad at us and he tried to yell at Shaka and stuff like that. And he tried to yell at me too about it.
Did you have to share all of your clothes with them as well?
I mean, I didn't have to. They told me, they did have a communal bag, and so anything I'm willing to share, I could put in the bag. So I kept a couple things to myself, and I put a couple things in there for them. But I did give them all of my jewelry, and when I left, I couldn't grab it all, so I gave them all of my jewelry. Well, mostly earrings. I gave them all of my earrings. And it was a lot.
Mm. The day that y'all left, how did that go down? Like, were they all standing around, or were they trying to get your clothes and jewelry, or did you feel uncomfortable?
So the day we left, I told my husband like I'm gonna call a meeting with Nature Boy, me, and Shaka, and I'm going to make him address what he did. Because I was like, right now, he doesn't know that I told you. So he's thinking I have loyalty towards him. And I was feeling uncomfortable with him having those thoughts. So I said, we are going to have a conversation together. I'm going to make this man fess up to what he did. So called a meeting and I was like, it was only us three though. I made it only us three because I already knew how he felt about the whole Velvet situation. The day before, he was adamant about not losing his daughter. So I was like, let's just keep this between us three. And so the whole purpose was for us to confront him and then express to him that we no longer wanted to be there because of that energy. So when I brought it up to him, he tried to deny it. He tried to reject it. He was like, I was trying to get him to say it, so I was vague. I was like, "Yeah, Nature Boy was inappropriate. He kept coming in on me in the bathroom." And Nature Boy was like, "It was nothing, you know, it was nothing." That's what he said. He was like, "It was no big deal. It was nothing." And I was like, "It's not nothing." I was like, "You pulled your penis out on me," and he was like, "Man, I didn't want you to do all that because now we gonna go all crazy and it's gonna take it out of proportion." And I'm like, "What do you mean? You know, I didn't take it out of proportion. I took it for what it was. You're disrespectful and nasty." And he was trying to, you know, calm Shaka down and tell him like it wasn't like that, it wasn't like that. And then he asked me to leave. So I left. And that's when he flipped the script and he made it sound like I was coming on to him. He was like, she was coming on to me. She's gonna bring you down. He was telling Shaka he needs to leave me. He can get him 10 more women better than me. I'm bad for him. He was just making me sound like a horrible person. And Shaka's like, nah, nigga, you're disrespectful. Like Shaka expressed everything. Like he went in on that man. And that's when he was saying stuff like, I'm not the Messiah. I'm just like, you know, I just got the information. And it's like, you're not the Messiah, you know, because you don't, as the Messiah, you don't get the opportunity to fuck up like this because you're supposed to have mastered yourself to be have self-control, but clearly you don't. And so Shaka was like, I'm trying to leave. Like, I'm leaving, like, period. And Nature was like, no, you're not going to leave. You're not going to leave. You're going to stay. You're going to face yourself. And because he was so adamant, Shaka was like, okay. And so Shaka comes upstairs to find me. I'm in the closet packing up the stuff because I'm like, Shaka's handling this shit. We about to get out, yes. And I'm upstairs packing. He comes in there, and first Nature Boy says, you know, everything's cool. He comes up, he says, you're good, you're good. And I'm like, okay. Shaka comes in, he tells me how the conversation went, and I'm like, so we still leaving, right? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, Nature Boy asked me not to make a scene, so I don't want to make a scene. So I was like, okay. Since you're on isolation in the garage, which was downstairs, and we had two big ass backpacks in a diaper bag, and I didn't want anybody seeing what we were doing. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I was like, let me compress as much as I can into one bag, and I'm gonna bring it downstairs as your isolation backpack. And then I'm gonna come down there. We're gonna study in the garage together, and I'm gonna call an Uber. Mind you, the night before, I already booked a hotel room and everything, so we was good. And so we sat in the garage, and that's when the homeowner came home, and she was in there with us, and we told her everything that happened, and she was like, "Oh, that's fucked up," you know. And she was like, I'll take y'all." So she left first in her car, and we just ran out the garage when nobody's paying attention, and we left. Like, we felt like we had to sneak out, because if we didn't sneak out and we brought it into the group as a meeting, Nature Boy was going to make it sound like I came onto him. He was going to make it sound like I was doing this shit. He was going to make me look bad and make us look bad as a whole, and I was not about to try to defend myself to them, because they're not going to believe me. They're going to believe him at the end of the day. So I'm like, I don't want to cause a scene. I got a son to think about. I got to be smart about it. So I was just like, let's just go as quietly as possible. And we did. They called us about an hour later when they realized we were gone. They were blowing up our phones and stuff like that. But we ignored them, and we just continued to do what we do.
Hey, Azeen, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. I want to ask you, was you nervous with your kid being around them?
Yeah, because it was weird for me, because before I got there, like, my baby wasn't that like a crier like that. Like, he cried like normal babies, but when we got there, he cried like he could not be, like, he had to be with me at all times. Like, I couldn't go to the restroom or do nothing without him on me, because he was not comfortable there. And I was like, this is weird. Why is he crying so much? Everybody's calling you a crybaby now. They're saying that, oh, you guys had him when you guys were low vibrational. That's why he's a crybaby, because his daddy's a crybaby or some shit like that. And I'm like, he wasn't like this until we got here. And he was screaming. Like, I got a video I wish I could show y'all right now of how he would scream whenever Nature Boy was around. Like, he didn't even heard his voice. My baby would scream. And I was paying attention to those cues, because it's like, my baby is crying, so he's telling me he's uncomfortable here. So I really did my best to keep him away from the energies I felt like he did not like, which was mostly Nature Boy. And a lot of the women. He actually got along with the men, like some of the men for the most part. But yeah, and then he got a fever one night, and I was like, nah, bro. He actually got the fever the night before we left, and I was like, yeah, my baby's not doing well here at all, and he's not being loved by these people.
Could you tell that Sybil was because I she was talking about your kid that
Mm-hmm.
in the book where she treated him bad. Did
Right.
she do that in front of your face?
Yeah, we were in a meeting one day, and it's hard being in those meetings because my baby wants to run around and be free, but I was hesitant to let him do that because people would be weird around him. So and he would cry though because he wants to be free. So he was moving around and he happened to touch Sybil's dress or whatever she was wearing, and she snatched it. She like literally went like that, and her face was like. And I looked at her like, whoa, when I grabbed my baby, I just grabbed him. I brought him closer to me because she sat right next to me. And that's when Star was like, yo, Sybil, that's fucked up. Like, you don't do that to a baby. He's a baby. And then that's when Nature Boy was like, yeah, Sybil, like, check yourself. And everybody was telling her to check herself. But she wasn't the only one who did that. Syrian had moments where she did not want to be around my baby. Pretty much everybody there really didn't do much for my baby. And he didn't want to be around them anyway. So yeah.
The only baby that really got something was baby Ellie. Like she really treated like a princess, like dead ass.
Yes. No, dead ass. Like when she walked in the room, you had to stand up and go, hey princess or whatever. Like you had to every time. And she's a toddler, so she's in and out the room all day. And there was a time like she left the room and came right back in, and I didn't want to stand back up. I'm like, no, like she's like 2 years old. And Loyal was like, you guys gotta do 25 squats because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, what the what?
Loyal said that?
Yes, Loyal made us do like 25 squats for not standing one time when she walked in the room.
How Loyal gonna make somebody do something?
Because Loyal, because he's Nature Boy's assistant, he got this power to be controlling, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like Loyal. Loyal was super annoying. He was super annoying.
So Velvet is right. She said he's annoying and have a head full of lice all the time. So she didn't like him around him. So did he have lice though? Did you know?
I never was there when he had lice. However, I've been told that he did have lice. I was told that he did. And that's probably why everyone else got lice, because of him. His hair would be the type to carry lice more than anybody else's.
Yeah, he probably could have been working at the Quickie Mart. But speaking of Laurel, now let's get to this. So is true who does Nature Boy call his so-called right-hand man? Is it Laurel or is it True?
Loyal, because I remember one day, one of his drunken nights, he went on this whole spiel about how nobody fucked with him. We all, he basically expressed that he hated everybody because everybody hated him. All this fuck shit. He was going off on everybody, and he was like, but Loyal, y'all need to be like Loyal, because Loyal bows to me every time. Loyal did it die. Like, he basically told us we needed to be like Loyal. So it was at that moment that I realized he respected Loyal more than anybody, because Loyal would suck his dick if he asked him to.
What? Yeah. Loyal would suck his Jim Jank if he asked him to.
Listen, I believe Loyal would drink his cum if Nature Boy gave it to him.
Geez.
Oh my.
Like literally, Loyal is the one who gets the scraps from Nature Boy first, because he's the one who like brings him his food and takes his food out. So whenever Nature Boy doesn't eat, he's eager to eat after Nature Boy.
He eat off his plate?
What? I remember him saying some shit like, I love to eat Nature Boy's leftovers because that's how I get his information.
Oh my God.
That's why I say like he would probably be okay with drinking some cum shots,
World. Do you hear this?
I hear this shit, y'all. I'm sitting here, I'm stunned right now. So this is the type of shit. So the same guy you say that did all this shit was trying to tell you to do some shit?
But that man was annoying. I remember one day, I told him, me, Malia, and I think Everett, we were going to the park, and we told him we're leaving. We get to the park, and I text him, because you have to text him when you get there. I was like, we made it to the park, and he was like, y'all didn't tell me you was going to the park. Do 75 squats right now. And I'm like, this boy really takes his power to his head. And we went over his chart one day, and it comes to find out he has aspects in his chart that make him think that he's bigger than what he really is.
What?
He really thinks of himself higher than what he really is.
So he was watching you squatting and stuff?
No, he didn't watch me because I was at the park and he was at the house. But he made us all do 75 squats, and because I was with Malia and Ephru, I felt like I had to do the squats because they was probably gonna snitch on me if I didn't. But at the end of the day, I don't really see squats as a punishment. Y'all only sculpted my body, so I was eager.
Right.
Like that's just easy. That's easy work.
I was thinking about that magazine. I was thinking, I'm like, okay, if somebody, that's just like having a boot camp trainer. All right, I'll
Right.
do it because I want to be toned for my man. So
Thank
yeah, I
you.
feel you on that.
Right.
I feel you. Now let's get to this. I had a few questions, and
Okay.
when we talking about the women's hygiene, now we know they don't shave and they walk around with no drawers on. So when it's that time of the month, what do they do? I'm just gonna say, what do they do? Because I don't get
So
it.
I'm gonna actually put this out there. The only thing that they really like, you can actually shave if you want to, because when I was getting my spiritual bath, right, when I took off my clothes, Nature Boy came in the room and he was telling me that I need to handle, like I need to like shave my legs and shit like that. And I'm like, what? And then I actually expressed that Nature Boy likes them to shave everything except their armpits. So Nature Boy actually likes them to shave and stuff. But when it comes down to periods, you know, when they start bleeding, they do wear underwear and they use these a certain brand of pads called Just, because it doesn't have the chemicals and stuff in it.
Right.
So they do take care. They do that when they don't just free bleed out everywhere, but they do wear something. However, they are nasty because it's easy to tell when somebody on their period because they don't clean up after themselves very well.
So that means
It
they
was
don't
nasty.
change. So that means they don't change their just enough. If it's
No,
blood
they
everywhere.
change it, but it's like you can see it. There's blood on the toilet seat. Like they're
Oh,
nasty. That's nasty. When you gotta share a house with 27 people, you gotta clean up after yourself because I don't want to know you're on your period.
you know what? Since you say that, that's true because I don't even let. I mean, my hubby know because that's my
Exactly.
hubby, but he don't
Right,
see evidence of it. He don't see
right.
it in the trash,
Like
toilet. So I,
wrap it up and deal with it. But like, come on, man. How you not gonna make sure check the seat to make sure you clean? Like that's nasty to me. So yeah, they have some nasty habits sometimes. Like
so
I
he
knew
Oh,
wanted,
when
he
somebody was on
wanted
their period.
everybody. I'm sorry. He wanted everybody to shave bald except under their arms. That sounds like men. I mean,
I
he
mean,
want. I
yeah,
guess
because
he
he told
want
me I needed to shave myself, and I'm like, don't
how
tell
he
me
gonna
what to
tell you
do.
you need to shave yourself?
Right?
So he
This ain't your package, nigga. Back up.
what the fuck? So I
That's
Right.
what I
mean,
want to know.
so he's seen the package. Like what the hell?
Listen, he came. I took off all my clothes. It was me and two other women in the bathroom, and I was taking off my clothes. And he came. And he just opened the door and walked in. And when he saw me naked, he came even more in, mind you, because first he only poked his head in, and when he saw I was naked, he put his whole body in there. He stood there and he looked me up and down.
Oh, man.
And I was standing there, like I started covering myself up. So I'm like, this is weird. Like, what are you doing? And he just stood there and looked me up and down and was like, clean yourself up. I was like, clean yourself up. Like, what you mean? I didn't clean myself up because I was like, if I clean myself up, he's thinking I'm doing this for his ass. Like, no, this ain't for you. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this, if you can recall,
Right.
how soon was it after you entered the bathroom that he came in?
Like 2 minutes after, 30 seconds after.
Hmm.
Like not that much
Okay.
later. Like 30 seconds later.
Kim, do you hear this
And how
stuff?
long have you been there?
And how long? What?
How long have you been there? How long was you there before he came in the bathroom with you to see your body?
I had been there for like a month and a half at this point. I had been there for about a month and a half, and like I said, we was drinking that night, right? And my spiritual bath was being prepared, and I remember standing there talking to Aya, and he came up on me and he smacked my ass. That was the first time he ever touched me, and I
Oh,
jumped. I looked at him and I jumped, and he was like, "Go get in the bathtub," and I was like, I'm waiting for her to finish, and I just kind of walked away because I didn't know what to do in that moment because everyone else was looking at me like, what was I about to do? I just walked away, and then that's when I went into the
so was it like,
bathroom. Go ahead.
go ahead.
finish up, mom.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk first
I was just
before
gonna
I
say that's when
finish
I
my
walked into the
question.
bathroom and I started taking off my clothes, and then he came in right afterwards.
Okay, so my question is, was this the first time all the girls had been in the bathroom together? Was this a normal thing?
No, 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 no. This was the very first time I had a spiritual bath while I was there with them, and so everyone had to have a specific person prepare their spiritual bath. So Syrian was preparing my spiritual bath. I was first, and I think Zoka was first because there's two bathrooms. So I was first. It was me and Syrian, and then Velvet was preparing Zoka's bath. So that's why Syrian was in there, and then this other person, Sunflower, happened to also be in the bathroom as well with my spiritual bath. So when I went in there, it was just the three of us.
Okay, well,
The
can
other
you
women were around
elaborate the part?
socializing and stuff like that.
So, can you elaborate on the part where certain people can be in the bathroom with certain people when it comes to you taking a bath or a shower, whatnot? Because I'm missing, confused in that part what a spiritual bath is.
So a spiritual bath is just a bath to cleanse yourself spiritually. So you put intentions into your water. Like you could put herbs or you could put essential oils, you could put rose petals. And the whole purpose is about getting into that bath and removing the dirty spiritual things that you want to remove about yourself. And that's what the purpose of that bath is for. So a spiritual bath is sacred. That's when that's like spiritual work is sacred work. You know, you don't want people coming in and interrupting your meditation and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why people were in the bathroom, because I had someone specifically creating my spiritual bath for me. And
Okay.
actually, the women were actually after you take your spiritual bath, Aya and Ephra were in charge of getting the women dressed afterwards. Like they were getting us all dolled up. Like
Mm.
they had us moisturize ourselves. We had a dress. We had earrings and everything. After we got out the bath. So yeah, it was just a special occasion. Like normally people don't have to be in the bathroom with you unless you want them to. And usually I got
Oh,
dressed in the
okay.
bathroom with my husband. Like I wasn't getting dressed with the women. I was getting dressed with my husband.
So
So
they basically it is that somebody runs you a spiritual bath. You don't see what they're putting in the water. You get in a tub. It's supposed to be a couple of women around, but then a man walks in.
Right. And that was the part. And it wasn't just a man, it was the nature boy man, right? Because this is my sacred space and you know, having a husband, it's inappropriate for you to walk in on somebody else's wife where she's not, you know, where she's naked. That's just inappropriate behavior. So
But if he's feeling like he's the Messiah, he's God and all that, so he's supposed to see everything, correct?
I mean, that's what he says. Basically, like he has the opportunity to be a part of everything. There is no secrets when it comes to him.
Did the other men walk in on you ladies like that?
The men did not come upstairs not one time.
So
and
he
that's
The
what I
men
really,
did
was
not come
asking her.
upstairs. Actually, I lied. I
Mm.
lied. The men would only come upstairs if they wanted to talk to their spouse. So, my husband only came upstairs when Nature Boy came to get him after I got out of my bath. And when I went into the room, it was just me and my husband in the room. So I thought until I heard Solar in the closet, you know, throwing hands. And that was the only other man that was upstairs. All the men stayed downstairs pretty much the entire night.
You said they
on
were
him.
throwing hands.
I mean, Solar put his hands on Zoka. Yes,
Oh my.
I heard him.
So my main thing being is I'm not understanding. They want to all of a sudden when everybody's drinking, oh, I'm gonna ask this queen Azeen to take a spiritual bath. I'm gonna run her water. I want her to get in while I have my little people right here like Aya and Malia or whoever to
So
watch
no,
her
no, the
so
way
they
the
can call
spiritual
me on the
baths happened though, everyone was getting one. I just happened to be first. So he picked names at random, and two people go at a time, and there's like 10 women. Um, Everyone was getting one. I just happened to be the first one to get mine. So that's how all that stuff happened. And everyone actually didn't get a spiritual bath because so much happened that night. Only I think 4 people got a bath out of the 10 that were there.
Do you
Okay.
feel that there's a reason why you got yours first?
Um, Cause I mean he picked it at random. He downloaded some app, put our names on it, and it came out as random.
Okay.
Let me ask the part where you mentioned what you heard about Solar and Zoka. I mean, so you saying that Solar was putting his hand on Zoka?
Yes, so Shaka and I were talking, and I was telling him about what just happened to me in the bathroom, and I hear a loud noise, like a smacking noise, and then I hear Zoka crying and saying like, "Why do you do that to me?" So I automatically knew he put his hands on her. Like it's easy to realize that. And then I hear her thumping, and I hear her crying still, and I hear him saying, And then I just hear him saying stuff like, you know, you left me for Nature Boy before, you'll probably do it again, some shit like that, you know. So
But because what it's saying, like to me, is everybody in combination, not speaking upon you. It seems like he just passed everybody's around, and then he gets mad when he can have sex with that certain woman. But my
so
thing is, go
continue.
ahead, Queen.
So I was gonna say the very first time I went to Carbonation in Mexico, Palenque, I remember him telling us. I think it was a meeting with the couples or some shit. Yeah, I remember him telling us all these women are my wives first. And in that moment I was like, I looked at my husband like, that's not for me. You know, so him saying that then, I'm sure that's still how he feels now, of course, that all these women are his women first. And I felt like when it came to me, because I didn't find him, I came there because of my husband. He didn't like that. And he was trying to figure out how he was going to take control of me, like how he was going to do that. And I felt he probably thought he had to do it with his penis. That's why he pulled his penis out on me. Like I can get her by my dick. Because I got a big dick, I guess.
Oh wow. So the part that I was still stuck on because I like when we discussed the part about the bathroom, I see what he tried to do. Everybody in the chat peep game with that, but I'm still like trying to get to the point of on was it normalized after this fight between Solo and Zoka? Like did they act normal like it didn't even happen or whatever?
Yeah. They act like it never happened.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
They act like it never happened.
Okay.
I really don't know if any
Damn,
of the
so I see
people
now
there
what's going
knew.
on.
I don't think anybody really knew that happened because I didn't tell nobody it happened until after we left. Because it happened only 2 days before I left, but
Oh,
I don't really think anybody knew he put his hands on her unless they themselves told somebody about it. But I don't really think anybody knew. Except actually Star knew because Star was in the bathroom right next to the closet that he was hitting her in and she kept hearing thumps the whole time. So
okay, so after the bath, after the fight, and after all that, were you ready to leave with your husband, or did you still feel like because you came to follow somebody that says he's the Messiah, Baba G, God, or whatever mood he in?
So I never really wanted to be there. I was there out of support for my husband, and so after that whole thing happened, I was like, I didn't want to be there no more. Um, and I told my husband that I was going to have a conversation to him about this behavior, just to see how he would respond to me. So that's why the next rising, he texted me first, asked me how I felt, and I told him I didn't feel good, and he was like, let's have a meeting. So him and I exchanged dialogue, and that's when he told me he liked me and all this other shit. And I think about it, and he never once apologized for his behavior. He never once expressed any sort of, um, you know, feelings about being inappropriate about it. He thinks that he did like his behavior was okay because, like I said, he was trying to figure
Because
out a
he felt
way.
like he was the God, he was the Messiah, and he know y'all called and all that. Another main question that I want to ask you is what made you and your husband, after going on the internet and watching his background and everything, go to melanation, carbonation, or whatever you guys called it? Because
So
I'm kind
like
of confused.
So basically, like I was saying earlier, he called us and asked for help. And I'm not a spiteful person. I am always going to extend love and compassion towards people, especially because I want to.
Hmm.
If I was in a situation where I needed help and I was going to somebody and I had the balls enough to call somebody and ask them for help, then I'd want help. So
Right,
I only, and my intentions were just to help them get settled so they
right.
could figure out their next step. And after that, we was hanging out and we just ended up staying. That's how that happened. They kept asking us to stay.
So, so when you first met Baba G or God or whatever you call him, what was your first impression, you and your husband, of him? Because to me, it's like first impression is everything,
So
and
Nature
I
Boy,
don't want to put myself in those situations like that, especially when I'm drinking my money to the credit.
Sorry, excuse me. So, his first impression always comes off as if he's just like a nice person. Nature Boy has nice energy when he's not being a toxic person. He's actually like funny and chill. So, at first he was fine. Because at first we were just visitors, so of course he's going to treat us differently than the tribe members because we were just visiting, and he had to give a good face. He had to put on a good face. So he was cool. And then when we had those meetings, when we finally joined, that's when his true colors really started showing.
Yeah, that's how it always happens, especially when somebody's putting your money in their pot and then all that. But me being a woman and me caring about people and giving my last to a person, if I'm going online and I'm going to see all these different things about this certain person, especially calling themselves God and all this and that, I don't think me helping somebody would have content me going over there and being up under the same roof and surrounded by somebody.
I
Me
mean, to
and
each
my
their own.
husband.
You know, each
Yeah,
their
I
own. For
understand what
me,
you're saying. It's a
no, yeah,
yeah.
for me, we just wanted to show them what it means to be a loving person, what it means to truly like being a true example of knowledge that he's trying to preach to these people. That's what we want to do. We cooked for them. You feel me? At the end of the day, we became their providers. You feel me? That's what the threat really comes in because we're the ones who put food over their head, a roof over their head. We're the one who helped them eat because they only had like $1,000 to their name at the time. You feel me? We came in and we
Okay,
brought
so
them so much.
can I ask you another question? Because
Sure.
I heard that you guys eat different food from what he eat. Did you notice towards the end of your stay that a certain person was cooking for y'all, and when y'all left, did y'all bodies feel any certain type of way?
Um, nah, we ate rice and beans a lot. I did feel like I was upset that Nature Boy would eat Alfredo, like shrimp Alfredo, while we're eating rice and beans like that. I didn't like that. But before we got there, I was eating healthy, so I didn't lose a lot of weight or nothing. I didn't lose any weight.
Right, because I done heard from ex carbonation members that when they first left from under his control and they was eating like they was sick for a few days to get
Um,
whatever out their system.
Well, I didn't allow any of that experience to um affect me like that because I feel like a lot of those people put a lot of more energy into that man. They expected way more from him. So I think that partially comes from how the ailments they got after they left. But for me, I was just chilling. Like none of that shit really affected me. Now, whenever I did get out the house, I
Hey,
bought myself a burrito because I was not about to eat no goddamn rice and beans every day. That shit was annoying.
right,
And
I
some of the men
apologize for
there,
asking
some
so
people
many
don't eat. Now, I
questions.
was lucky because when you're pregnant or breastfeeding, they have a list of
You
people who
get to
eat.
eat more.
No, they have a list of who eats first. And when you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you're at the top.
So how
So
many
because
times did you guys eat a day?
we ate one meal a day.
Um,
Um,
Hold on. You say
one
one
meal
meal,
a day.
okay, I
one
said
meal a day.
1 minute left.
Yeah,
No. I didn't say
one
one
meal a
minute.
day.
Oh
One
yeah,
meal
we
a
ate
day.
one
That's
meal a
what I'm
day.
saying.
We ate 1 meal a day at about. It depends, cause there was a day where we had a meeting. Right, the meeting started at like 7 a.m. and that meeting went on till 5 p.m. There was no bathroom breaks. There was no eating breaks. We sat there and listened to this man talk from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. with no food or water, unless you got up to go get it yourself. So there were times where we didn't eat till late, but for the most part, we had 1 meal a day. And like I said, pregnant women and breastfeeding women actually had an opportunity to eat more because so they had food set on the side, like they might have peanut butter or eggs or something that they can eat.
So when he was sitting
Did
there,
the
y'all was
pregnant
going basically.
There's an echo. Is that me?
Nah,
Oh,
nah,
Somebody
nah.
is echoing because I hear that. Ask another question.
okay.
So basically, when he's sitting up there spitting a word, you guys could not eat or anything, but the women are so called allowed to eat and all that. Even
Yeah.
if y'all sit up there hungry. So was he more trying to teach y'all the knowledge, or was he more trying to control y'all diet because he know y'all hungry and tired? So at this point, y'all have to listen or y'all won't eat. It's just like when Malia be on the video, she was like, "Out, I love chief, and I got a sandwich, but it was like two pieces of bread." Like, cause y'all want to be able to have that obligation to eat.
So I mean, I
And
don't want to say Nature Boy Star does. I'm gonna put this on the women that cook, because the women that cook don't always make enough food for everybody. So there's times where the last men on the list, which are usually like Caliber and like Pisces, the last people on the list, don't get to eat, and that's where it's fucked up. And I remember one time, we had a guest in the house, and I feel like because we had a guest, he had to keep up a certain image. So there was a time where they wanted to make breakfast for a solar noon meal. We was eating pancake and eggs. We was eating pancake and eggs this day. And when they made Nature Boy's plate, I was upset. When they made Nature Boy's plate, they put about a whole damn carton of eggs on his plate. Okay, gave him like 10 pancakes and shit. And then when it came to us making the plate, they gave us like one little spoonful. And then the food only lasted, after Nature Boy ate, only about 5 people were able to eat after that. He had to go and make the man go buy Chipotle for everyone else who didn't eat because they didn't make enough food for everybody that day. So I put the food on the women. It's the women.
Oh wow. Okay,
so
me,
that's
if you in a
basically
car,
like,
hold on for a second. Me, if you in a car, make sure you got your window rolled up. If you are in a vehicle right now, because there's a lot of
No, I'm
background.
not. I'm not
Yeah,
in the
something's
car.
going
It's
on.
actually
okay,
it's
so
really quiet where I am.
You
Okay,
got a
let me
lot
go
of
out
back.
and come back in.
yeah,
I
she
don't know
wants
what
to
that
respond.
is.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh?
So basically,
Hold on for a second, sis. Hold on.
he's the type that's
Okay, partners, Mama Azeen.
Okay.
Now, was Shaka ready to leave or something? Is something going on? I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
Shaka has to. Did you want to talk to him?
I mean, if he get ready to
of
bounce, I just
course
want to
we
holler at him
do.
for a second,
Shaka,
just
because
for a
David
second.
wanted to talk to you.
I want to ask Shaka a
Yeah, I thought
question.
you was coming back. I told him you was coming back and you never came back.
Oh, peace, peace.
I want to ask
Hey,
Shaka a
Shaka.
question.
Y'all want to do what now?
Ask you a
I
question.
want
Oh,
to
what's the
ask you a
question?
question, God or peace reflection or whatever y'all say.
Oh,
No.
peace,
How do
God.
you feel about okay, you
How
can
do I
call
feel
me
about
Kim
what?
Possible. Okay, I want to ask you a question because your wife went on a journey with you. Does that make
Hmm.
you love her more since she helped you get out of the situation that you was in? Because that's a strong woman to let you go on a journey around another man that calls themselves God. So I want to know, if this makes our relationship stronger or further?
Absolutely.
Because I
It
can't.
made it. It definitely made our relationship stronger. Definitely.
That's all I want to know. And it's nothing.
Okay, Shaka. We ain't gonna hold you,
And I
Shaka.
hope you
We ain't
learn for this time. Next time you want to go on your spiritual journey and walk and all that, read the Bible.
Man, I didn't. Man, I did all that.
Before you put
gonna.
yourself in that
Trust me, I did
situation,
all that
because
shit.
if you guys weren't strong enough, y'all could have,
It wasn't
y'all
even that.
journey
It
Uh-oh.
was
would have
more
been
so.
a hell of a
It
lot fucked
was.
up.
She said, "Shut up."
Oh no, she
Wow.
think she done. Hey,
Right, that's
well,
what I'm
okay.
saying. Because she said you wanted her to go there. That's a strong woman. Because me, I would have probably beat the fuck out of something. Like,
I
no,
mean,
Jesus
we
is in
wasn't
the
really like
Bible.
going, like she said, we wasn't really there going. We were just more so just wanting to help them out. And it just kind of, so, they
And
kind
you
of
could
just
help
talked us
somebody
into
on
that shit.
Cash App or PayPal or something.
I tried
Daily or
that, but it was
something. I
more so
don't have
like
to
I
go to
wanted to be
nobody
face to
on their
face.
purse.
Yeah,
They go
Shaka
one
was
for
like,
you
Think
"Who
of
right
the
who
there,
the
best of the
Shaka.
who
best.
are you, Abra?"
Who
So
is
I'm
that?
pretty sure, Queen, you learn not to
I am
let
from
men
Pomona. What up? Who that?
have the leeway. That's why everybody say you're in control now, because you let your man have his journey. Hopefully, next time you want to stroll to the gas station or the store somewhere,
Listen, you
and
know
not all the way to no.
what I've learned is a woman's intuition. Sometimes
Hey, baby,
you gotta be
open
mindful, because sometimes
and
a woman can say something and it come from a bad place. So
It doesn't, but you have to help them because women are supposed
But
to be
listen, right? So sometimes you could tell them the truth, you could tell them what's going to be, but they might not believe you, and they have to go through that experience. But once they go through that experience and they realize that you were correct, they can look at your information with more respect after that, because now they realize that you were right from the beginning.
right.
So with him, still wanting to go there, I'm learning, like, at the end of the day, the next time I tell him, like, no, we're not doing this, he'll have more respect and be like, all right, bet.
He probably won't even never bring that question up again.
No. We never going back
He
to
won't never
confirmation.
ask you again because you're in control now. You can't even take me nowhere no more. I'm on my journey. We can be on our journey.
Well, you spin this narrative. Now they running with it.
No, I don't control the relationship.
Well, I'm just being the
What I
truth.
do?
You
What
can
I
let your
do?
man go
I
on
don't
his.
mind. Look, it's okay.
Hey, sis,
Yeah,
adjust your
man, we
volume a
both
little
from
bit on your
Pomona,
phone, okay?
California. That's what y'all not understand. We both from Pomona.
Is that
Kim, adjust your phone volume, okay? Your phone volume is real loud, okay? All right, now what would you ask Mama Z?
Hey, world, right quick. Do I still have that sound?
Yes, you do.
Okay, it's
Sound like
something
you
going
got
on with
on
my
YouTube.
computer. No, I don't. I don't have anything with this on. But let me check and see if I have updates, and I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, Mama Z. I'm still in the building with you. I wanted to.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. Let me see. I think people got.
Oh yeah, you can see the comments, right?
Yeah, I'm reading the comments right now. Okay, yes. When someone's preparing your spiritual bath, they are putting their own intentions in it. Absolutely. That's why usually you would prepare your own spiritual bath. And for me, it was weird because Syrian was the one preparing mine, and Syrian and I had bad blood at that point. So I was actually nervous for my spiritual bath. So I was like, I really truly hope that she's not giving me bad energy while she's making my bath. Now, when I went in there, she expressed to me. She was very upfront. She told me, like, I know we've had a problem. However, the spiritual bath, I'm doing it purely for you. So I can only take what she's giving me and really hoping that's what she did. Give me 1 second. Stop.
You already know what it is, man. Like I say, man, hey, look at here. You already know what it is when it comes to the children. It's nothing. Like I say, shout out to everybody up in the building. Can't wait and add you back. You got to make sure that you got all of the apps off for the phone, everything turned down, and then we to the good, okay?
I'm about to join.
All right, I got you, Mama. I muted you up for a second. You good? Okay, Kim, you back with us, right?
yes? No.
Okay, I think she got somewhat of a lag going on. All right, I want to go back to the one thing that you were saying a little earlier when you was talking
I
about,
am back.
what I'm
You
saying, when
have
y'all
me
made
back
it.
now?
Yeah, I need you to hold on for a second because I'm asking her a question right now, okay? Just mute up for 1 second. All right, this is the question I want to go back to. When you said earlier that y'all were making a movie, so to say, or whatever. So Shaka said they wouldn't like no doors like on the rooms and stuff or whatever. So how did that go down? I mean, did y'all hear other stuff that was going on too?
Well, we all had to basically keep our doors open. Well, we didn't really want to close the doors because that house got really, really stuffy. And I'm not about to be in a stuffy house with people that don't really wear deodorant. So, we're going to keep doors open and windows open when we can. So, yeah, that night, I mean, the people, they didn't really have sex like that there. I never really saw anybody have sex. The couples always slept in the same room together. True and Sheba never had sex, not one time when I was there. Not to my awareness. Only people I ever knew had actually got intimate besides Nature Boy because he had his own room. Mente and Syrian always went off and hid their sexual pleasures. That's cool. He was in the closet or the bathroom. And yeah, Zoka and Solar, they were intimate, all out in the open. So True and Sheba on the other hand, can't say they ever had sex while I was there. Not one time.
Because I heard her coochie smell like a skunk.
Right. That was Shaka said it smelled like a skunk.
They
So
didn't
that
like
thing
each
funk.
other. We had a meeting one day, right? True wasn't present for this meeting. We had a meeting one day, right? And Sheba was like, I don't like Shaka's body. And in my head, I'm like, first off, Shaka got the best body here. So, and then Nature Boy goes, But
Facts.
but Nature Boy goes,
Uh-huh.
Nature Boy says, but you like True's body? True's built like a damn piece of paper. And she was like, I don't like his body either. And I was just like, what?
Oh, man.
Nature Boy goes, then whose body do you like? And she says, yours.
Right,
The
because
hell?
Baba G, the God or Messiah or whatever, and they think he had a big penis, but they ain't just stop making one penis to be God.
What?
You can buy the shit off Amazon or something if you want a big penis. Come on
Can I
now.
get the other one?
But in other news, I'm glad that you allow your husband to go on y'all journey and y'all still together and work
Right.
it out. But next time, just tell him to pick up a book and read it or something, and don't take me around no palm trees to figure everything out and
Listen,
then take money out of our account.
I'm open to the experiences
Because he
personally.
does let you guys come back around, and y'all need to come over there and take everything over being natural. But on this note, we're gonna take care of vaginas, wear deodorant, take kids, and then we can do it.
Listen, we was trying to take over carbonation. Period. They just need some new damn management. They need some new
Now they needed
management. That's
some
what they need.
deodorant and some new vaginas.
Hey, once you get new management, the new management is going to enforce new laws. You feel me? That includes washing up, putting on some smell goods. Shit, that's the problem. They're
So
listening
when
to
you
this man.
Right.
so when you was talking about the smell good and what you would do up under new management, what's other things that you would do different if what I'm saying carbonation was under new management, with your ideas?
Let's see. Because I respect the military style of working they have there because it creates structure and order. So I respect that. I would I mean there'd be a little bit more freedom. I felt like there wasn't much freedom there. You always had to ask permission to do things, like even go outside. Now, things I would just change would be the amount of freedom I had. The biggest problem with carbonation is literally just Nature Boy, just him in general. Not even like the rules they have, just him. Because
And
people
wanting
can't be them.
to
People can't be
control
themselves. I
everything.
can't really learn them because everyone's scared that if they say the wrong thing, they're gonna get in trouble. I.e., Malia getting in trouble just for being herself. You know what I mean? So the thing, just management needs to change. Just that's it.
Speaking of Malia,
Mm-hmm.
do you think she's treated worse than Velvet?
Yeah, definitely. Because when Velvet's around, like I know she gets, hands laid on her. However, Nature Boy gives her everything she wants at the end of the day. When it comes to Malia, he dogs her. He throws her aside as soon as Velvet comes back. He talks to her very disrespectful. Very disrespectful, and he tells them like, "I'm only using you for your pussy." Like that's the fucked up shit that they stay around for whatever reason. So yeah, I think he's really horrible. Especially that fight they had when it was Malia and Velvet at the beach or whatever. Nah, that was fucked up. That whole situation was fucked up.
So if you had one thing to say to Malia to make her change her mind to leave carbonation and not no shade or anything, how would you be able to help her?
How would I be able to help her? I'm not sure. Giving her a place to rest her head, I suppose, would be the best help I could give her. I could give her some advice because I've been in a situation where a man has laid their hands on me. So the best thing I could do is give her some information. But at the end of the day, it's all about her, whether or not she uses it or not. But I'm always gonna be here for any of those women who would reach out to me and ask me for help. I'm gonna do what I can.
I don't know. Somebody lit. Is that Shaka lit like that? Sound like Shaka playing some goo wop up in there or something, man.
Uh,
He lit.
the children are definitely lit upstairs.
Oh, okay, word. That's what's up. And like I say, I appreciate you, what I'm saying, being as open as what you are,
Right.
about all of this. But there's one other question, what I'm saying, that I gotta ask you. And when it came to what you noticed as being funny business with Sybil, how was that? I mean, like, how did you feel about how she treated your child?
I hated the way she treated my child because I didn't think it was fair. I felt like she treated him that way because she didn't like me, and that's not good behavior at all. And I had to realize she's never had a child before, so she can't understand the true love that a mother would have for a child. Clearly. So at the same time, I was trying to. I'm the type of person who gives people the benefit of the doubt. I always try to look at the best in people. So even when she treated my son like that, I was like, it's probably because she doesn't understand what it's like to have a child. She's never had that experience. So I was just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Now I stayed away from her. I kept her away from my child, but I still try to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Miss Mead, did you have a question?
Yes. I think StreamYards is messing with me tonight. Am I okay with the sound world?
Nah, you sound really, really bad.
Right.
Way
I don't know
real.
what it is tonight.
Yeah.
I'm
Let me ask you a
sorry,
question.
Mama Zine.
Do you have a?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have do you have on headphones?
No, I didn't
That's what it
reset.
is.
No,
Yeah, that's what it is.
I I put them on I did put them on earlier, world, and it sounded worse. So I'll put them on again, and you let me know. But it's just something going on with StreamYards with me tonight. I don't know what it is because I don't
Sometimes
have these
StreamYard.
problems.
Yeah, sometimes StreamYard be blanking though. It's all good.
Let me try to put on earphones. I'll be back.
Okay. We sorry for taking your mama away from you for this amount of time. We
You're
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, we sorry.
No, you're okay. He's chilling.
What about the other women that was in combination? Did they treat your son any differently?
Yeah, like I said, the only person that really ever loved on my child was Velvet and Star. Everyone else was
Uh-huh.
kind of just didn't really do much for me or my son. The only people that I knew had treated him bad, in my opinion, is Sybil and Syrian. Those two were
Syrian.
yeah. So Syrian didn't like me. Let me tell you about Syrian. Hold on, I'm sorry, one second. You gotta be
You
quiet,
good?
okay? You gotta be quiet, okay? Syrian didn't like me. So this is one day we're in Nevada, okay? Nevada ain't got no beaches. They have this one lake. Shh, you gotta be quiet, okay? I'm having a conversation.
He said, okay.
Um so we went to this beach. Now I've been to Nevada plenty of times and I knew the beach we was going to and I was like, this ain't no beach. So when we get there, clearly it was a place I thought of. And I remember I said, this is pathetic. I said, this is pathetic. Because I'm from Cali, we got nice beaches in Southern California. So I was expecting something more. So I was like, this is pathetic. And Syrian told Nature Boy on me. And I
What?
had to have a whole meeting with excuse me, had to have a whole meeting with them about how I called the beach pathetic and how I'm supposed to be more grateful, whatever it is. But okay, you're right, whatever. And then my husband's name in my phone was saved as my chief, right? Before
Uh-huh.
I got to carbonation, that was his name, and I never changed it. So I guess she saw him calling me one day, and she told Nature Boy again. Nature Boy, she got his name saved as my chief, and I think that's disrespectful because she don't respect you as the Messiah, something like that. And I was like, that's how you feel? That's what we doing right now? And I realized in that moment that because of that, she didn't like me because his name was saved in my phone as my chief. That was a problem for her, and she expressed that to me several times. She brought it up in
Oh
conversation
wow.
several times. Stop. And so she didn't like me because she felt like I didn't think Nature Boy was the Messiah. So her energy towards me was always nasty. I remember one day I asked her to go grab my son for me. She looked at me as if I just asked her to like I asked her to do something crazy. Like I asked her to do something outlandish, and all I asked her was hand me my son because she was right next to him, and she just looked me in my eye like
Oh
I'm
wow.
so glad you got out of that situation.
What?
Because I wouldn't want any of those people to touch on my child.
That might be a horrific experience right there.
yeah. And then that's why I was like, damn, she's the one giving me my spiritual bath. I was nervous. I was. Because after the energy she
Malia,
was giving me before that, I was like, she's going to. I'm like, I don't know if I want her to give me my spiritual bath. you know. But like I said, when I walked in there, we really had a conversation, and we were able to overcome certain things, and she was able to express herself, and I was too. Like I said, until she told me to be grateful for Nature Boy coming on to me, then that's when I lost some respect for her.
So are you referring to Malia or
This is Syrian.
Velvet?
Syrian.
Uh, I'm just glad you guys got out the situation and no
I'm
more
sorry.
brownies. And he told me to turn my phone down. I'm just glad that you're a strong black woman and you lived through the situation to take your husband on a journey with you, and you still came out strong to be able to talk about it.
Right. I feel like, yeah, I just need to bring
And for
awareness to the
that, I'm
situation.
grateful.
Right. I feel like I need to bring awareness to the situation because a lot of people are being fooled, and a lot of people are being drawn into a false prophet, as I will call him.
Hey, a few people was putting in the comments, and I know they gonna ask you too, but they want to know where it start. Where's Mama start?
Man, Star is wherever Star is. I haven't really talked to Star, so I don't know where she's at. But she's not here. I'll tell you that much. She ain't here.
Say she ain't there.
She ain't here. So I don't know where she's at, and I hope she's doing well. That's all I can say.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. That's a dope answer. Y'all got any more questions for Mama Azeen?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
yeah.
another question for her.
Now,
Yeah, you good now. You sound like you were
okay,
breaking up.
all right. I put the headphones on, so it's better.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay, I apologize to everyone because this is, not how it usually happens. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but Zine, I want to tell you that shirt is popping. First
Thank
of
you.
all, I was trying to say that.
Yeah,
That shirt,
that's what I was looking
okay,
at.
that
I'm
shirt
grateful.
I
popping,
was
mama.
looking at her too.
I got it
Right.
from Route 21, y'all. For everybody wants to know, I got it from Route 21.
Yep, that's right. Route 21. I like Route 21. But for you, I want to say this.
She has
A
her
lot of the
clothes.
women, a lot of the women that has left has not been as real as you and Shaka. And the reason why I say this is this. Any question somebody throw at you, be like, here, hey, y'all give real answers, like real nigga answers. Like this is what it was, and this is what it is, and this is what it is now. So regardless
Right.
of what people say, I appreciate the fact that y'all answering everybody questions, which no one does for the
Okay.
nation. No one has answered as many questions as y'all and as real as y'all.
Right.
You and your husband. And I appreciate the fact that while you were there, your husband wanted to be there. So you followed your husband's lead, which a lot of women don't do. They don't follow their
Right.
husband's lead. You're like, okay, well, we should still be here. Okay, I'm here, but wait a minute now. These people creeping me out. And I know you felt like that a few times. Like, I'm
You
so
see, I
creeped
see
out.
we watching him now, looking at the corner, act like you ain't going nowhere.
No,
So,
my husband's not even here right now.
okay, so with that being said, were you ever intimidated by any of the women, or was they trying to get with Shaka? Was any other women trying to get with Shaka while you were
First
there?
off, they all wanted my man. Let's start there. Every single one of them, no matter what they say to this day,
Hmm.
because if my husband's going to be the topic of conversation for 3 whole days, then clearly somebody is feeling a type of way towards him. And a lot of the time, these women had so much anger towards my husband. And at the end of the day, if you're going to give a man that much energy, you must be feeling something about him. I know Nature Boy felt like
Right.
Sybil wanted him, and Malia wanted him the most, and probably Star. And it's funny. I'm gonna be honest, because when we were there, Star always said, I don't want Shaka, I don't want Shaka. But when she left and she was with us, it turned out she wanted to be a part of what we were building. So I don't care what any other women say. Shaka is an alpha male, and he's definitely as much of an alpha male as Nature Boy. And
And
women
Velvet
definitely
wants
want
to
an
be
alpha
with him
male.
as well, right?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Velvet wants to be with him as well, right?
You said Velvet. You said Velvet.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about Velvet, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I mean, like I said, everybody. Because actually, when we were in Carbonation, there was a lot of conversation about Velvet wanting Shaka. Like that was some of the meetings. Conversation was about Velvet or Shaka feeling something for Velvet. They were projecting because we had a meeting one day and it was saying that Shaka had feelings for Velvet and Shaka was like, no, I don't think she's attractive at all. And Shaka was like, how you not gonna find my woman attractive? And that was like, you can't call Velvet attractive because then he's gonna get upset. So when Shaka said he wasn't attracted to her, he still got upset and he was asking reasons why not. But there was a lot of conversations and meetings we had about Velvet and Shaka. And a lot of it was, I feel like, projections from Velvet. I'll just say that.
Okay, so we'll roll past that because you and your hubby both want to roll past this subject. So we'll roll past Velvet and you guys. Um, I just yes, we talk about Velvet a lot over here, and we talk about how she goes back, and we don't clown the fact that she was abused. We don't clown the fact that any woman is abused. I'm gonna put that out there.
Right.
So we'll go past that, and I hope she's happy, and whatever interaction y'all have with her, I hope it's a great and positive interaction to keep her away. Regardless, that's how I feel. So
I
with
tell her
that,
all the time because I actually talk to a few ex carbonation members and I tell Velvet all the time like, hey, at the end of the day, like before you go back, call me. Before, if you ever have thought of going back, call me first, please. I told her like, please don't go back. But people make their choices. But I did tell her like,
right,
call me before you ever decide to go back to that man.
right, and so I gotta ask you this about Aya. Sorry, Mama Josie. I'm
Excuse
sorry,
me. Oh, I'm
Josie.
sorry. Give me 1 second. Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me. No more pool because you're kind of loud. Okay. Can you go play something else now? Yes. Can you take him with you? Awesome. Thank you. All right. I'm back.
Okay, with Aya.
Mm-hmm.
Is Aya really like the snitch of the group? Like,
Is Aya what?
is she the snitch of the group? Like, she tells everything to Nature Boy, like every single thing
I'm
that
sorry.
goes
Give me one
on.
second. Shaka left me.
No, go ahead, you're a mama.
Shaka, I'm gonna need you to
That's a
stop.
mama first, y'all. That's how you know that they care for their kids. This is everyday life for women with small children. So we definitely understand. This is a great interview, by the way. Um, I've been listening, and they're open. I like them both. I really do. Out of every ex carb member, what you
Lord,
think?
Lord, Lord, Lord,
Yeah, they
Lord,
are the
step for me.
realest to me.
They are the realest. They came out of that group, and I think if they had been around when with Mama Dia, I think they'd have told it. They'd be like, "This is what happened. Like this is what the hell happened." You know, unmute Mama Zine.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Your question was about was Aya the snitch? They're all snitches. Every single one of them. Because they all want to get in the good graces of Nature Boy. So if you come with him some information, I guess it gets you a leg up. It shows that you're loyal. But yeah, Aya is definitely a snitch. Efru is a snitch. Malia is a snitch. Sheba a snitch. Zoka a snitch. Syrian a snitch. All of them.
So all of them they trying to be the one.
They want to be the one. Definitely. Efru already expressed that she wants to be everything Nature Boy wants in a woman. So she gonna bring her back to be that person.
Wow. Wow. So I know it was a time. Like, did you ever go to Shock and say, like, fuck this shit? Like, let's go right now. Like, I'm creeped out. I don't want to be here. Let's go. But
um,
let
yeah,
me
I
say,
told Shaka
I
several
understand what he was
times.
saying yesterday with, hey, we had to get our money. I had to transfer this and that. And I said that to them and I said this to everybody. You always have to have a plan. And I think y'all were smart for having a plan. But was it a time where you said, man, fuck that plan? I need to leave now.
So, I mean, every day. I told Shaka, whenever you're ready to leave, I'm ready to leave. I told him that several times. I said, when you're ready, I'm ready. And there was a time that Shaka felt like when he was on isolation towards the end, he was like, I think you should stay. I'm gonna go. I was like, fuck that. I'm going with you. I don't know what you're talking about. I told you I'm only here because of you. Like, don't leave me here with these people.
Especially when y'all were separated, right? For most of
Right.
the day. How did you feel about that, being separated from your man most of the day?
Uh, it was upsetting actually, and I would actually I would get upset with him like, why don't we ever spend time together? And he had to tell me because they are keeping him separate from me, and it was upsetting. Like I had to spend all day upstairs with the women, which was cool, but at the same time, I wanted to spend time with my husband. Like, only time I got to spend time with him was when it was time for bed, and by that point, I would feel bad because I was too tired to even engage in a conversation sometimes because the day was so long. And so it was just sucky because the only time I could actually engage with him would be if we were eating our solar new meal, or if it was time for bed. And at nighttime, I'm tired because it was draining being around all these people all day. I'm like,
But
damn,
you
now
had
I
your
don't have much energy for my spouse, and I didn't think that was fair for neither one of us. You know.
That's right. And that's what I was gonna say next.
Mm-hmm.
I that energy, I need my husband's energy.
Yeah.
So I could not imagine somebody making us stay apart all day. So I know that by the time it was time to go to bed, your energy was so drained that you didn't have the energy from your man.
Yep.
That you had the baby next to you. You was giving your baby
Yep.
that energy. Your baby was giving
Yep.
you that energy, but your man wasn't giving you that energy. Oh, I wanted to ask you, why was he isolated in the garage? I'm sorry if I missed that because I was
Yeah.
on the road and things. Why was he
So
isolated?
So basically, Nature Boy had told Shaka and I for a couple days about how we needed to separate, and we never separated because we didn't agree with that perception of it. So, and then one day he was telling us, he basically gives everybody a choice, and people always make their own choice. And he used Zoka as Solar as an example because he told them to separate. They didn't listen to him, and now they have a baby out of it, and that's a whole other story. But he used them as that example, and so he told us we had the choice to either stay together or not, and we chose to stay together clearly. And so the next rising, he pulls Shaka aside, and he basically is yelling at him because he wasn't listening to him. He's like, you disrespected me, you didn't do what I told you to do, or whatever. And he also came at me and was telling me that I don't listen either, whatever. And so Shaka told me, I didn't even know he was on isolation, okay? That's the crazy part. I found out because um he wasn't really talking to me. And I was like, why aren't you talking to me? Like, what's going on? And I guess it's because there's all these ears around him. He was trying to be mindful of all these little snitches that were around him. And so I'm like, why is he not talking to me? Like, this is weird. And I remember we went to the beach that day. This was literally the day he went put himself on isolation is the day Nature Boy pulled his penis out on me. So so yeah, we had to sneak and have sex, mind you. But so yeah, so I was like, we went to the beach that day, and he was very distant. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Yeah. So he was very distant. I had to ask him like, why aren't you coming to get in the water with us? You're just sitting over here, and he was like, cause I have to be over here. I have to do this, and I was really confused for a while, and then. We went back to the house, and he went straight to the garage. And I was like, "Why are you in the garage? Like, why aren't you interacting with us?" Because I wasn't aware that he was putting himself on isolation. I was just confused. And then he had to tell me like, "I'm on isolation right now." And then I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then that's when I started texting him, like, so we leaving now? Like, we about to leave? Like, what's up? Because you're on
Right,
isolation and I'm by myself now. Like, what's up? What we about to do? So, yeah. I had to sleep by myself for a couple nights because of that.
right. I mean, that's wow. And I was asking you that question because as you know, women, we want to know these things, and it's nothing. I don't. One thing about me, I try to learn everything about what's going on, especially with the new generation and this and that. You know, so I understand that. But the day that y'all were getting ready to leave, I know that had to be the happiest day of your life from the last. Cause how long y'all were there when y'all was just spending the night at first, and then that y'all were actually staying
Like I
there?
can't wait till his journey was over.
We were there for about 2 months. Definitely about 2 months, like a month and a half, something like that.
Did he get mad about the money that y'all transferred back into y'all accounts?
Oh yeah, we found out later on because Star was there and she told us that he wondered how we were even able to get away with all that money. He was like, "How did this happen?" So
Who did he blame? He
Look
blamed
at that,
True.
the real guy.
probably True and Musa because they're the ones that try to charge the finances.
And y'all got him. Got him.
Got him,
Look, I
got
love
him.
Cause
it.
me
You feel me?
myself can't
But
understand.
you know what's good? No, let me tell y'all because
Yeah,
I'm a generous person, but at the same time
yeah,
I'm smart, right? I'm like, no, we taking all this money. Shaka was like, no, let's just give them about half. I was like, half? No, they don't deserve shit from me. Shaka was gonna be
no,
nice enough to give them half of the money. I was like, no, I want all mine. Like I want all mine. That's just the least I deserve after what he put us through. Like, no, they don't deserve nothing. And after the whole spiritual bad situation, Shaka was like, yeah, fuck them. We taking all this shit.
like,
And we
Right.
moved it. I moved it. I made sure I moved the money out of the account that they had access to because I was like,
yeah,
if push came to shove and we did end up having a meeting with everybody, they were going to try to take it from me anyway because they asked for this was my personal checking account and they asked for my login information. I had to give them
yeah.
access to my bank account. So because they had access to my bank account, I had to move it into a different bank
That would
account.
have been a no for me.
Give me
Okay,
one second.
so
One second. Give me one
you
second.
okay. I want to elaborate what she said on the bank account. Most of the time, a strong man has a strong woman behind him. We always gonna have a
Yeah, that's
backup
all
plan with
they
that
need.
money. We always gonna have another bank account that you guys don't know about, but we'll tell you when it's time to tell you about that extra bank account. Now let's move it here. This is what they don't know about. So I feel the sister, and they already on the right path of being a great couple because this is how you think as a couple. So y'all take lessons. We us women don't always
Nothing
have.
but peace and love towards her. She a real queen.
All right.
That's right.
Whew.
I know it's hard, sister. I know you, but hey,
Yeah.
it's a proud moment. It's a good moment of being a parent with a good
Right.
man and a good
Right.
life. And I
Okay.
applaud both of you. And like I said, the most part I applaud is y'all don't hold back nothing. Any questions we ask, what I'm gonna do now is if anyone has questions in the chat that you want to ask Mama Z,
Questions, donations.
yes, I will read them and I will ask her the
Okay.
questions. So
Yeah.
So let's read the chat here. Let's see what questions they have for Mama Azeen. Because I really appreciate you and your husband. Like y'all
I'm
cool as shit.
grateful. Honestly, I
Queen.
appreciate the platform to bring awareness to this craziness.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's what your husband said. He said that
Right.
on yesterday. He said it happened. I did it. It is what it is. You want to ask me about what happened? I will tell you, and I will tell you why we did this. And this is the way you get
And
out.
now we making it make sense.
Yes, everyone's always like, I would have socked them. At the end of the day, we can't always respond emotionally. Okay, we got to be
Yes.
strategic, especially when children are involved or when a
Tag.
child's involved. Now, I'm not trying to put them in any type of crazy situation. And at the end of the day, you got 27 people who are devout followers. This is a cult, people. So they're gonna have his back over my back any day. So no, you can't just go have a meeting and think you just about to walk out the door. It don't work like that.
Okay, I have a
Especially
question.
when you take their money.
Right. So the question is, what interaction did you see with 50 and Chiba with Nature Boy and Sheba?
You said what interactions did I what?
See with Nature Boy and Sheba.
I didn't really see much interactions with them. I just know that Sheba wanted him though. Nature Boy mostly gave his energy to like Mogi and Aya. Most of them too.
Okay. Someone asked where do you live now, but I think your husband already said that y'all are in California, so that's enough there. We don't need their exact address. So he
Right.
said you guys are in California. That's good. And speaking of
Nah,
California,
actually we're in Georgia.
Okay, you're in Georgia. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're in Georgia.
All right. So that's good. And the thing about it is, I appreciate that you guys can live how you want to live
Right.
and don't have to be, caught up in this cult. With me saying that, who would you like to get out? Who would you like to get out first? If you could choose somebody right now that's over there, who would you get out right now?
So the one I choose is Zoka, and people think that's weird, but I choose Zoka because of the baby. I have a soft spot for children, like even Jaw, as well. I didn't choose Jaw just because of his mama, put away by his mama, but Zoka because she's pregnant and her baby has an opportunity to really, be in a better environment in that place. I'd save Zoka first over everybody, and then I'd probably save Jaw, and Shiva probably got to come because that's his mama. But I saved Jaw. After that,
But she's well overdue.
you said what?
She's supposed to have the baby on the 23rd, so she's well overdue, and that's dangerous as well.
Oh, she was supposed to be due on the 23rd.
Well, the last video I seen, she said January 13th.
Oh,
She said
January
that last.
13th.
Yeah, she said
The
January
one we
13th.
heard was December 23rd.
I think she went to the hospital one time, so she probably did get a due date. But yeah,
And I
after
said the
after
exact
you
same
know
thing.
after Zoka and Ja, I'd probably go for like a Malia.
Malia, yeah.
I'd probably go for Malia because she getting it worse.
Did you see the video that they had when World put it up when she was sitting in a chair and her baby, you can see her stomach that much to when she put her leg up, the baby was still sitting sideways.
I didn't see that video.
Yeah, I saw her whole stomach and it's like the baby was sitting sideways. It didn't even try to come out the birth canal yet. So I feel like that to me was enough.
Mm, mm.
Okay, so
And
I'm
I
gonna
will
say,
say that no, I don't think Nature Boy has actually said this himself that he just uses Ephraim and Aya for sex. He uses them for sex, and he said this out of his own mouth. So,
okay, that's right. All right, and
and I think somebody asked me what does Azeen mean, and Azeen is African for one who has eternal beauty.
that you are, sister. That
So
Great.
you
let me ask you a
Let me
personal
add
are.
question.
to.
Do you
Let
think
me
the baby is Nature
hold on. Let me
Boy's?
hold on. Let me add as well. I'll bring her back in with the question, but I'm gonna go ahead and then drink. I'm gonna go ahead and then drop the link now for people. You know what I'm saying? That got additional questions for you as well if you want to answer. You can go ahead and then ask your question now because I see it's people that want to call in. So I'm gonna go ahead and then drop the link for them too. Is that cool with you, Mama Z?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, dope,
Do you think the
dope.
baby
What was
is
you
Nature
saying,
Boy,
Ashley?
baby?
Who, Jaomi?
I want to know if do you think the baby Joker's baby is Nature Boy?
Oh no, I think that's Solar's baby, and I think Nature Boy is mad that Solar gave her a baby.
Oh wow, did he mention that?
I mean, he calls her baby a demon baby. When I was there, he
Right.
called that baby a demon child. He told her, like, I'm dead that she was willing to get an abortion. When I was there, she was willing to get an abortion because of the way that man talked about her child. So no, I don't think Nature Boy. I don't think it's Nature Boys. I think it's Solar's, and I think Nature Boy's mad about it.
A state of being. What's going on? A state of being.
My question is,
A
did you say
state of being.
that? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you say that your husband was about to leave you there?
Yeah, he was upset because Nature Boy was yelling at him so much that day. And he was getting he got in trouble a lot for everything he did. So he was in an emotional state, and he was like, I want to leave. And he thought I was getting along with these people. He thought I was enjoying myself. And I had to tell him I don't want to be here. No. Bye bye. So yeah, I had to tell him like I don't like these people like that. I don't want to go anywhere without you. I had to reassure him because when you have somebody like a Nature Boy in your ear, you have to really have strong willpower to not allow his perceptions to really cloud your own judgments of things. So Nature Boy is painting pictures about both of us, about each other without each other present. Like he'll tell Shaka all the time how horrible of a person I am and how he needs to leave me. And so Shaka's like, maybe you like it here, you should stay. And I was like, I don't like it here, so what's up, you know?
Right. Hey,
I thought
Shaky.
I thought you said that in the beginning you never wanted to go to carbonation. So did Shaka know that you didn't want to go?
Yeah, I told Shaka from the jump. I told him when we first decided to help them, I was like, we're going to help them, but like, you know, I'm not really going to join them, but we'll help them. And then when it came time for us to actually, I guess, join with them, I told him that I'm going to engage in this experience and see where it takes me.
Hmm.
And then while we were there, I did express to him like, hey, I'm ready to go whenever you are. Like I have no ties here, you know.
Did any other members leave while you were at carbonation?
Yeah, the first one who left was Naytiri because she was there for like 2 days when they first came. She was there for 2 days. And then Niza left. And then there was this one Mexican dude there. I don't know his name. He left as well. So there was 3 members that left when I joined. And then after I left, that's when, you know, people started leaving again.
Why did the 3 members leave?
Um, you know, they, like I said, they had just came back from Hawaii when they first got there from being deported and going to jail. So that Mexican boy wanted to leave because he went to jail, and that's not what he thought this was. He was going to be ending up in jail, being a part of this union, I believe. And then Naytiri only was there because she was waiting for her phone. She wanted to leave as well. Now, I don't really remember exactly why she wanted to leave, but there was a lot. One part of the reason was probably because she wanted to be Solar's wife, but she couldn't be. And then Niza left because Niza was a little crazy, and she tried to choke Syrian one day. She tried to choke Syrian, and she was trying to fight everybody. She even looked at me, mind you, like she wanted to fight me, and I was only there for 30 seconds when she gave me that look, and I was like, "There's something wrong with this one." She had this look in
You
her
knew
eyes,
something
like
wrong with it.
she had a look in her eyes. Like you had to be there to see this look in her eyes. She had a look, and you just know there was something going on in her head.
Oh wow.
And I
I
So
remember
I
we
Neva
was,
always
had to be
I
the
remember
one
we
that
had this
needed
meeting,
pimp
right?
direction and not a god.
You said what? I will say this: that we had this meeting one day. I think it was after Nisa tried to put her choke out Syrian, and you know, Nature Boy was like, "I'm about to let these women, you know, go like put their hands on you." You know, he's like, "I give y'all permission if she steps out of line. I give y'all permission to put your hands on her, right?" And she's laughing. She thinks it's a joke. She's laughing, and she's not taking nothing serious. And the Nature Boy's like, "All right, now it's time for you to leave." And she was like, "No, no, no, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave." But her ass thought this shit was funny. She thought it was just like a joke. Like she was really crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, and I'm trying to be nice about this, but she had a few screws not completely tight in her brain.
So I wanna ask you, I gotta go back for a second. So when you were talking about, you know what I'm saying, the night that that Velvet, you know what I'm saying, got beat up, you know, the joining of the circle and all that, what was that like that night? Did
It
everybody
was
just, you know, just lay down and go to sleep or whatever? How was that?
so when it first started, people did try to jump in, but True was like, "Step back, don't intervene," you know, type shit. And so everyone stood back and they said, "Make the circle tighter." And I was holding. Stop. And I was holding my baby at the time, so it was weird having to stand there and watch that. There was people on the distance looking at us too, which is why we had to make our circle tighter and stuff. It was very uncomfortable. I felt horrible because I know what it was like to be like that and to have everybody watch you get beat. I could only imagine what she was thinking. It was just, I was like, I don't even know how to feel. I felt horrible. I felt like I was one of the people that was punching on her and choking on her.
Damn.
I felt like
And
I
then
was
the
one of the
next day,
people
how
that
was
was. Go ahead.
yeah. I can definitely relate to what you're saying in reference to, you know, feeling like one of those people, you know, that did get abused, so to say. You know, I get that 100%. But like with Clubfoot, with 50 Nature Boy, like how was he then after that? You know what I'm saying? Like how was he walking around? Like he
Listen, the
just wasn't
next
shit
day,
and
the next day I thought we was gonna have a meeting about it. I thought we was gonna address what just happened the night before. But he came
Yeah,
out there like nothing happened.
real nigga moment.
He didn't even address it. He didn't address it until because Mama Earth or Sybil, she was like
Sybil,
Sybil, she was hurt. Like
Sybil.
the night that it happened, I looked at her because she was the person who kind of sparked it because Nature Boy was feeling on her booty and she was giggly at the time. Oh,
Word.
Nature Boy, you know, and so
Did she say
I
something
know that
about it?
the
She said
next
something about it.
huh.
She said something about it.
So I
Did she
know it
make mention
really
of it?
hurt because when Nature Boy started choking her, I looked at her and she was like, her face was broke. She was broken. She was hurt at that moment. She
Oh
wanted to
man,
cry. She looked horrible. So the next day when we were having our meeting, like I said, he didn't even bring up what happened the night before. He didn't say nothing about it. We had a meeting about something. I don't even know what it was about because it was so irrelevant. And Sybil was sitting there crying, like head down. And Nature Boy was like,
yeah,
"What's up with you, Sybil? Why you acting like that? Toughen up." Da, da, da,
yeah.
da. He was like, "She deserved it. She needed to get beat." And I'm sitting there like, hmm. And Velvet had to come out the room. She was still in the room. And he's saying all these things like she deserved it. You got to beat the white man out of her. Like Nature Boy did not care. He was proud of it. He preached to us.
Damn.
You're supposed to put your hands on the woman. That's what he preaches. You're supposed to put your hand on the woman when she gets out of line to get her back in line.
And Sybil was the oldest person in the house, and she had her head down, shaking her head.
She was like crying. She was so hurt. And she was like, "You're not even like addressing what you did, and you think it's okay." And he was telling her toughen up. He was telling her get over it. You know, the
Can
Sybil
you
was hurt.
recall if this was? Can you recall if this was before or after drinking?
Is this before or after what?
Before or after drinking was involved? Because there had to be some type of drinking.
No, this was the next day after July 4th. Like the next rising, we had called into a meeting, so we weren't even fully awake. We were just rising pretty much when the meeting was called. Everybody was sober or hungover, I
Oh
guess,
my
if they drank too
goodness.
much.
See, Clubfoot is an animal. Clubfoot is an animal. I wouldn't have expected, you know what I'm saying, with all that stuff that she was saying about Syrian and Mente, for Syrian, to actually have been in the bathroom with you when that crazy stuff jumped off. Because, Sibel, allegedly she helped them get away and stuff or whatever. She helped them out,
Oh, she said
and,
that,
and
huh?
yeah, that was she said. She said she helped them out. I
Yeah,
didn't know
they
how true
reached
that
out
stuff
to us
was,
Really?
too.
but
Actually, they reached out to us while they were still there, and were asking for help. They asked us
oh
for help as
wow.
well.
My
Yeah,
understanding
that's
is
why.
this
That's why that one
Sibel
day.
just came.
What'd you say? That's why that one day, when Shaka was on live, he was like, "Go get your peoples, go get your peoples." It was Mente he was talking about.
I was wondering how she was pushing that narrative. So that day when Nature Boy had smacked her butt and stuff like that or whatever, that's what I was saying. Like, how did she, like, what was her energy like? Was she like trying to show off, like, like that he was more interested in her or whatever? Because obviously you was there
Sybil
with your
was
husband.
Sybil was loving it. Sybil was loving that attention. She was loving it. She was super giggly every time he showed her some type of attention. She loved it. She loved it. And I remember the first time
Uh,
I saw him touch her in that way, I was like,
was it like he wanted you to see him touching her? You kind of went out on me a little bit. Or you went out
yeah,
on
I
me.
keep getting
I don't know if
phone
somebody tried
calls.
to
I'm
call you.
sorry. Can you repeat that?
I figured it. Oh no. Did it appear like he wanted you to see him doing that to Sybil?
I'll
Did you
text
ever
you.
get that impression?
Okay, I got you. I'm gonna text you right now. I'm sorry. You can ask
Uh
your
oh.
question again.
See, if that's Shaka and he got you got to talk to Shaka, you can get off here for a minute if you need to.
Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah,
Give me
she
one.
got
You can mute
technical
me.
baby.
I'm gonna mute her up for a second, man. Shout out to Mama Zeen. I had to mute her up. I don't know what I'm saying. They might be talking about right now, but that's their business. And like Miss Meat was saying, they have been the most open, the most upfront with any and everything that had to do with this carbonation shit right here. Hold on. Hopefully, Joanne ain't acting crazy. You gotta be unmuted. You gotta be unmuted.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta stay unmuted. Hold on, I gotta check and see now if I'm all
Okay.
right.
I'm just glad that they got on
Gotta
the
make sure
panel and
you
like
wake up.
they the realest out of combination.
Hold on, I gotta check and see now if I'm all right. I didn't hear you. Could you repeat yourself?
I said I'm just
Could
glad
you
they the
repeat
realest
yourself?
out of combination so we can.
Man, I think the realest is actually an understatement to tell you the truth. Shit.
Right.
Everybody else,
Because
you
they're
already know how
more
they
than
be feeling in the
patient and
game.
they
They be
get on the
trying to
panel and they
like,
answer all these different questions coming at them. But on this
uh-huh,
panel, we are
uh-huh.
asking all the right questions to make it make sense.
Oh yeah, that's what we here for. They know. They know. It's a hey, look at here. It's a assistant act. Sometimes you got to do that, yo. I'm just glad that there's people that are not afraid to speak about this. Think about how many people that ran away from this carbonation shit. Ain't say
Right.
nothing. Okay, Mama Z,
Right.
we back in the building. We here.
Yep, I'm back.
I
Uh-oh,
don't
she
know
put it up
if
her jogging pants. She
uh-oh.
ready.
There you go, Kim. I'm muting up. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk to Mama Z.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad that you have your son out that environment first. Um, my apology towards somebody treating your baby wrong because they claim that the baby wasn't born in the tropics. Uh-oh. You might as well just pick them up and rock them to sleep.
I'm sorry. Come here, child.
Yeah, you're
Come
gonna
here.
have to pick them up and you're gonna have to give 'em one of those good mommy rocks. You're gonna have to put them on your lap and turn them towards you, put them on that breast, and then he'll go to sleep. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
Okay, there we go. Now you got me.
Now
Got
rock
my
your
attention.
leg.
This boy's just sleepy, I think. So until his daddy get here, he gonna be a little cranky. All right, you got my attention now. I got this shirt from Rue 21. I got this shirt from Rue 21.
Okay, if it's cool, Mama Zane, I'm gonna open up the call-in line. I'm gonna go ahead and then open up my call-in line for people to call in and they can
Yeah,
ask
that's
the
fine.
questions as well.
All
Yeah,
right.
he getting it in right now. He getting it in. He getting it in. It's all good.
Yeah.
Let me
Ask
get the
me
call
away.
number. I'll be forgetting the call-in number. Hold on for 1 sec. I always forget this number. I don't know how I be forgetting the number, but I always do. Okay, bet. Y'all can call in and ask your questions. Don't bombard her all at
I'm
one
just
time.
glad y'all went over there and went on y'all journey and then y'all came back in one piece and wise. Because I send people money from a distance. I don't want to have to go in the tropics and the trees and all that, but I'm just glad you came back and a man needs a strong woman behind him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because
Absolutely.
men be making more mistakes. But next time when he want to go on the journey, you're going to have to tell him you better go in the closet or something.
Nature Boy needs to go damn stand in the corner for 10 hours. For every time he put his hands on somebody, for every hit. Shit.
He needs to be muted.
That man. That's why I think somebody asked the question like the other day about do we think Nature Boy going to jail is that his karma or something like that? Like absolutely. Like every time he's went to jail, that's part of his karmic debt. He got to pay off. That's why the fact that he's still putting his hand on these women, he ain't learned his lesson yet, and he's gonna end up back in jail.
And then you reap what you sow anyway.
Yeah. So
Okay,
even if it don't come
that
now, it's gonna
number
come
that's
to his
listed,
children.
the number that's listed that's on the screen. I'm not gonna drop the stream yards link, but you can call in at that number right there live. 10 people per call. You can call in live if you got any questions for Mama Azeen. For the new year, that's right.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut this out this year that you don't have to go out of your area to go on your journey. You can call and ask questions. Cause I'm normally the quiet person. I normally don't talk.
I'm sorry, I'm
But
reading these
Lower,
comments and
lower,
stuff.
lower, lower.
tell it.
Okay, family. I
Gang.
got somebody else that just called in, Mama Azeen.
All right.
Mama Z, I got somebody else who
Mm-hmm.
just called in. Call her.
Okay.
Hi, I wanted to know, why do so many women leave Tribe Zulu?
Why do so many women leave Tribe Zulu? Is that the question? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh, your question is why do so many women leave Tribe Zulu?
I can hear you.
Yeah, she can hear you.
She said, why do so many women leave Tribe Zulu?
Yes.
Okay, so people leave Tribe Zulu for whatever reason, right? So when it comes to being here, a lot of the time the women come to be a wife, okay? And Shaka is a lot of energy. Okay, Shaka has his own mind. He has his own morals and value. He has his own ideals on how he wants things to go. So when people come here, sometimes they don't really study him to understand how he moves. So when they really realize how he moves, they don't really always like it. Okay, because they feel like it shuts them down, and that's their perception. I don't knock it for it. Um, as well as sometimes they feel I'm trying to think of specific people and examples. So I'm gonna start off with and also I'm not even gonna lie, a lot of the time it's the women too, because they come here with false pretenses. Like, you don't really learn people until you actually spend time with them, and it has to be outside of the phone. Like, a lot of times we build with people on the phone, then they get in person and it's a different story. So sometimes they get here and they aren't being who they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna use Star as an example. Star came here to heal. She was supposed to heal, and Star and I fell in love. Okay, we got caught up in a romance. To be honest, we got caught up in a romance, and we forgot the purpose of what she was supposed to be doing. So because of that, because of us getting distracted, Shaka got upset, and he was telling her about it, and she didn't like the way he was expressing himself, and she felt like she felt however she felt, and she felt like she needed to leave. And other women come here thinking that they're just gonna be able to lay around, get dick all day, and not have to do the work. And it doesn't work like that.
Mm.
Women come here as well,
I have a
and they want
question.
to build with my husband, but they don't want to build with me. That's another problem. You can't come here thinking you're just gonna get penis, and then I'm just gonna be there and just watching you. Like, no, that's not how this works. You really gotta know what you're walking into when you come into this union. Period. And women don't know what they're walking into when they get here, and then they get here, and then they feel like we scam them or something. Like, nah, we.
I have a question.
All right, I'm back now.
Hold on.
So yeah,
Let her continue with addressing the caller
so
first.
basically, it's like
Are
it's
you
a
still?
lot. We've only had about like 5 women come here, and each one has a different story. They each left for a different reason, and it's not just because of us. It's because of them. Sometimes, so it just depends, and I feel like that's a long answer to that question. I'm trying to do it in a short way, but basically, people come here with false pretenses, and shit just don't work out the way they think it's supposed to work out. At the end of the day, when it comes to polygamy, this shit is not like it's different than monogamy, okay? And for me personally, women come into my relationship and think that they're just gonna get my man. That's not how I work. I'm sorry. You're not just gonna come here and think you're gonna get my husband and think you're just gonna push me aside. No, fuck that. I'm in a type of polygamous relationship. Like, if you don't love me the way you love my man, then things ain't gonna work out. There's my answer. I hope that helped.
Okay, can I ask my question?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, my question is, I thought this was a panel to talk about Nature Boy and to see how we can stop him from doing what he doing. I didn't know this panel was going to be about your personal business and what you're doing over there and what tribe you have, because I'm unaware of that. And your son is up, so I'm confused about what this panel is.
Are you asking me that question?
No, I'm saying it in general because I didn't know this panel was gonna be about you and
I mean,
Shaka.
I don't really. I just know that I was told that people had questions for me. So all I know that this is about is people have questions for me, and I'm doing my best to answer whatever questions they come at me with. Now,
Okay,
most of the questions
I
do
think that
happen to
she
be
was
about carbonation. So
exactly, and I think she's going off of one of the comments that was, you know what I'm saying, in the chat. Somebody was saying something about Tribe Zulu, and the lady that just called in as well, talking about, you know, people that, you know, left. That ain't what we talking about. We're not talking about people that left. That's not what we talking about. Is he going in right now? Is he going in? Is he going in? Is your
my
son going in
baby,
right now?
my baby
Yeah.
making hell of noise. I'm trying to close this door so I can hear y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. Oh, it's all
So
good.
my
Yeah, it
thing
ain't no
is, when
problem.
you went over there, a combination or a metallation, did you find your calling or did you gain some knowledge from going there?
I mean, I didn't really like them. I already had all this information in me. Like I already had it. I was hoping I'd be able to apply it in a healthy environment, but clearly that's not it. I learned what not to do from carbonation. I learned who not to be from carbonation. I learned that I need to be authentic and that the people who like me are going to vibrate towards me regardless. So I don't need to change for nobody. So I appreciate carbonation for teaching me authenticity. I appreciate carbonation for teaching me how to be compassionate. I appreciate carbonation for just showing me who I am and who I need to stay strong in. And I see that they try to use your weakness against you, but at the end of the day, nobody can use your weakness against you but yourself.
Because some people are getting confused because it's saying like everybody needs from carbonation wants to get on their own panel and wants to start three different wives or polygamy and everything, and they wasn't doing it there when they was at carbonation. So when they break off, then everybody wants to do polygamy. So some people might get that confused about everybody want to go out and have their different panels and talk about this and talk about that with polygamy.
You want me to talk about polygamy? Like we've been polygamists. We've been polygamists for 2 years now. My husband and I. So we've been doing this journey for 3 years. Nature Boy didn't start this for us. Now he was an inspiration for me along my path because what I saw him doing, I wanted that for myself. Absolutely, I wanted to be nature. Like I wanted to be in the jungle like that. I wanted to be by the beach eating coconuts and shit. So he inspired me, absolutely. But he didn't spark this for me. And when it comes to polygamy, I genuinely have an affection for, I like women, right? And there's something about myself that I hid because I have a pastor for a father. But I like women. And being with my husband, he allows me to be who I am. And we talked about it, and we both were like, yeah, we're down to bring another wife into the situation. Now we've had plenty of women here, and even through those experiences, I love polygamy, and I want a wife, and eventually gonna get
So
one.
so so if that's the case, with even being a part of carbonation, if you know what I'm saying, you do like women and he's cool with that. What's one of the women, if any of the women at all, that you would choose out of carbonation to be with?
None of them.
Not now, damn one up.
Not damn one of them. Now I'm gonna be honest
Okay.
though. When I was there, when we was at the beach one day, and he asked all the women like, which of, if you was a man, which of these women would you fuck? I named Velvet for one. I think Velvet's beautiful. I named Aya. I think Aya looks a little exotic, so I like it. I don't like her like body type. She too skinny for me, but like she reminds me of a Halle Berry, so I think she's kind of cute. Those were the only two that I think are kind of cute, but at the same time, like I wouldn't take Aya on as a wife personally. And
You
I
say
wouldn't
you
take
would?
Velvet. Mm-mm. I would not take
Not
Aya on
I.
as a wife. I think she's cute, but not wifey material for me personally. Now
What's
Velvet,
some things about? Let me ask. What's some things about Aya that you dislike that you notice while being around her? You know, womanly things. What's some stuff you don't like about that? About Aya?
um, hmm. Well, I can't trust her. At least not in carbonation. Now I would have to build with these women outside of carbonation because carbonation taints everybody. You can't really learn a person there. So because of that, Aya was a snitch, so I didn't like that about her. Like I could not trust her with nothing, or anything. I didn't like. She's just too skinny for me personally. Thus, physically, she's just too skinny. I think she's her face. She got a beautiful face, but she's just too skinny for me. I need some meat on my peoples, but yeah, that's about it. I think she's cool. I think she's actually kind of goofy. She's actually kind of got a goofy personality. She's kind of funny, but nah, she's too skinny for me.
I have another caller. Israel. Peace. How are you? Peace, Israel. You have to unmute yourself. Your microphone is muted. Yeah, your mic, Jim Jank, is muted. You got to touch. Yeah, there you go. Peace, Israel. What's going on?
Peace, peace. I'm on my husband's Gmail, so
Okay.
that's why you see
Oh,
the
okay, word.
email. But I
Okay,
really
word.
wanted to talk to Mama Azeen about the whole sister wife concept because we are also in the process of that as well. But I do notice some similar characteristics where the females might be unintentionally splitting, or intentionally splitting, you know. And I was curious as to whether you and your husband have like a screening process for when these women come in. If there's like a point in time where you wait this amount of time before you get to know them or before you become intimate with them, whatever it may be. Yeah, just curious.
Um, I mean, I think through the experiences we have gained more like boundaries, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
experiences, because at first we just allowed people to be who they were. Now that didn't mean we just started fucking like as soon as they came into the picture. Nah, a lot of these we build online first. We meet these people
Okay.
online, so a lot of it's virtual. And so
Mhm.
the only thing I would say is that the women need to build,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
because women tend to have more issues between
yeah,
each other. So I would say for us, it's just really important that the women build, because the women and the men are going to naturally, be able to bond a little easier. So for
yeah.
me, it just has to be women have to be able to click, because if the women don't click, it's going to be a complicated situation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
And it's interesting you say that because we feel the same way with our union. The way I move is I build a relationship first, and if we hit it off, then you can meet my husband. You know what I mean? But I have to see that there's a genuine bond between the two of us first. And my husband also got on me about that as well, because at first I was meeting these women and then just automatically introducing, and they weren't ready, you know. So it was just like, okay, well, I'll do the vetting first, you know. And
yeah,
it
actually, a lot of the women that came into ours actually went to Shaka first,
mm,
and that was it was weird for me because for me and my perception, it makes me feel like they're just here for you, because
yes.
I have to go out of my way to even build with them sometimes.
Hmm.
So sometimes it came
Hmm.
like, I think it's all about how the women enter the union, how it starts. How it
Yeah,
starts is how it finishes, really. So
yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. And that was something that I automatically thought of as well. I'm sorry, Will. We over here talking about building real family foundations, not this a whack ass carbonation. Are you
right.
good with this conversation right now? Because
Man,
I'm
listen, don't
Oh
even
yeah,
worry
you
about these
good.
people. These people just want
Yeah,
drama.
you
They don't
good. You
understand
know,
that this
like
is
I
a
say,
real life. This is
Yeah,
real
yeah,
life. Like,
it's within the conversation. But somebody put in the comments and said that they was asking were you and Nature Boys live the other day.
who, me?
cool.
Yeah, okay. You talk
Yeah,
about that one
Israel.
time.
You
You talk about me?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh,
no, not you.
Okay.
Okay, okay, great. That's not her, y'all. That's not her because
Not
they was in
her,
the
not
comments.
her.
They were going to go. They were about to go crazy. Now with the
I
potential,
wasn't
this
me. I would never. I would
because
never.
Okay, all right, okay.
Unless
Now
he
you
wanted
were
some
saying that
real
you wanted to.
therapy. If he was ready for some real therapy, maybe, but he ain't ready for me.
Okay. So when did you okay, well let me ask you this, Israel, not
Mhm.
to get off the topic of with Mama Azeen and this panel and what it's about right now. Would you like to come on one day with other polygamous couples?
Well, one thing I do like to be made clear about how we move, we don't call ourselves
Uh-huh.
poly. We don't call ourselves
Okay.
poly. So I don't
What do you
mind
call yourself?
engaging in a discussion with other
Word.
women about polygamy because I am still, versed enough to be able to conduct a conversation and see it from that perspective. But even though I am accepting sister wives, I do not consider myself polygamous.
Okay, word. Yeah, I can't I yeah, but that's the thing though, you know what I mean? Like I say, I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying, this interview with Mama Azeen and just the
Mhm.
questions for
Yeah,
Mama
no
Azeen
problem. No
in
problem.
relation to everything that got to do with, you already know what we talking about right now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
strictly. Do you have any questions, for her while she's up here on the panel?
Um, as far as carbonation goes, you got any questions for Mama Azeen, baby?
I got no question. I'm glad
No.
she's good.
Yeah, we're glad you're good. We're glad you're safe.
I'm grateful.
Oh, is that your king right there? Is that your
Yeah,
king you was
that's
talking to?
him. Yeah, you
Yeah.
Okay,
you have.
word. Peace, peace,
What's
King. Peace. How
what's
you
going
doing,
Peace.
brother? All
This
what's
right,
is
going
the
on?
indeed. Yeah.
How y'all
real.
doing? How y'all doing?
All right,
Yeah.
word. That's Israel. Okay, that's peace. That's peace. I recognize the spelling. You know what I'm saying? Moab, indeed. But I was inviting your wife, as well to a panel. We'll more than likely have a build on what she doesn't call polygamy, but just building, just like an interaction, like a meeting of the minds with other, what I'm saying, polygamous, people that's in that, type of relationship, not talking about carbonation, but just building in general.
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I think in that case, it's definitely a go. You know what I mean? However we want to set that up, it's cool. We cool
I'm
over here.
down. I would love to meet like-minded
Yeah,
individuals on this
yeah,
topic.
absolutely, absolutely. Because I do find a lot of people they see carbonation and they think that's polygamy, and it's
Right.
very dangerous to look at that image and think that that's what polygamy is about. So it's important for there to be a discussion, even though I'm not. You know what? I am what I am. That's what it is. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll have a discussion on what a healthier perspective can look like.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
All
wow!
right.
I think that's what I name it too—a healthier perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, polygamy.
Indeed, so. Indeed, so. Okay, because I see Brother
The
Deculu's in the
healthy
comments as well. I don't know
perspective.
if y'all are familiar with who that brother is, but he's in the comments as well. You know what I'm saying? You most definitely want to follow that brother. You know what I'm saying? But you can still hold on. You know what I'm saying? On the panel, like I say, I got Shay Keys up here and Kim Possible is back up in the building. Y'all still got
Awesome.
additional questions for Mama Zine?
Well,
I
since
do.
y'all on polygamy, polygamy has to be something wanted, not forced.
Right.
So therefore, if you want to be in polygamy, you have to be able to love that other woman as well as you love your man. And
Yeah.
you can't let no bitch come in there and try to love you more than your man that you had in the beginning. It's simple.
It's all about balance, but
Everybody has
at
to
the end
play
of the
their
day,
part in polygamy.
I think it's also good to add that it's all based on the individual. Like people create like polygamy doesn't have a certain like one guideline. It's to the individual relationship. So some people get in polygamy where only the man is allowed to have women and the women don't even interact. So it's for the individual. It's how you personally want your relationship to go. So sometimes people
We're
get in
talking
polygamy
about
where
the
only the
real
women can
polygamy.
have a wife or something like that. It's
The
just
real
individual.
polygamy goes all the wives has to get along and they have this one man. See, that's why everything get confused. And you can't force polygamy on no woman like you can't force it on a man.
Absolutely. You can't force anything.
My
Shay
situation
Keys.
was the other way around. I was trying to force it on my
Mm,
man or whatever. I'm like, stay up off me all the time. Somebody can do these things for you, and I don't feel like being involved in
mm.
the situation.
Okay.
So it has to be wanted and not forced.
Absolutely.
So everybody has different meaning for polygamy, but some of them, when it comes to a lot of confusion, you're not ready for polygamy, and your man not ready for polygamy, or y'all want to have these certain people around y'all to play test dummy on y'all in y'all relationship.
You talking about me?
No, I'm just talking
Or you
about
talking
in
about in
general.
general? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shay, did you have any questions for Mama Zine?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I don't
great.
know. Okay, I don't want to sound like being offensive or anything like that, or being mean or nothing. I just want to say that to begin with. Blessings, Queen, King,
I'm grateful.
on the channel, and everybody in the chat. Um, so like what I can say is I'm from California, and I'm out here in Georgia. I've been out here for 5 years. The police killed my dude is what brought me out this way in Texas. Doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing. We shouldn't have been doing it anyways. Um, I got brought up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And where I come from, the women in the streets is very dominant.
Right.
I don't know where you come from, but at what point did you think? But at what point did you feel like, okay, I'm uncomfortable in the situation to where, you know, another man can tell my man what to do, and you don't have me fucked up about it as being my dude. You understand what I'm saying? Like, did you ever feel uncomfortable with your man, your king, to
Hold on for
where?
1 second, Shay. Shay,
Okay,
hold on
okay,
for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Mama Zine, I'm not trying
Yes.
to be disrespectful. Chad, I'm not
yeah.
trying to be disrespectful, but Master True won't, I guess he in here, giving you some energy,
Uh-uh.
Mama Zine.
He
He is
giving me
all in the
some
chat.
energy.
He is all in the chat right now. He want to be seen.
He's real mad. He want to get up
Look
here
at
and
him.
talk about the
Do,
word.
do not time him out, y'all. True, do you want to come up here and talk to Mama Zine?
Come
Because I
on
see
up
you
here,
today.
boo, because I want to marry you.
Man, they
Come here,
ain't even
boo.
allowed to talk to me. Shut, kill it. They ain't even allowed to. But go
I'll
ahead,
talk
show
to
off,
him. I
sir.
want to marry you because he's the truth.
Look at True. True is over here for Mama Zine, y'all. So that's why I was asking you about that energy. Did you not feel that energy when you was in the camp? Was True giving off them vibes to you like
First
he was
off,
feeling
True's a
you?
robot. To me, True's a robot. True don't.
Word?
He come off like a robot, so it's hard to read him sometimes. And then also,
Oh
when
How
he
could
man.
wasn't
you be
around the
around
men very
somebody who
Hold
often.
on,
jumped
sis,
on you?
sis. Hold on. What you say now, Mama Z?
I was saying that I wasn't around the men very often at all, so I really can't gauge if anybody was feeling me at all. So because I wasn't around the men, rarely, and even when I was, like, there was no exchange of dialogue. I remember one time I asked Caliber to grab me a damn, what's it called? I asked him to grab me something, and he made it into an issue. Like, he couldn't just go grab it to me, as if I was coming on to him by asking him that. So I really just did not engage with the men.
Okay, because I see now I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure Shay see it in the comments. And shout out to Lady Leo up in the building. True saying that you are a soldier, Mama Z. That what True saying?
I mean,
Lady
I
Leo,
guess.
Lady
What's
Leo,
up?
you got any questions for Mama Z?
I actually do. I had a few questions. I don't want to really get into the carbonation thing. I know a lot of women, they like to do the polygamy thing, but it's always like an issue with us women with jealousy. So I know sometimes it becomes hard and difficult. And then my question to you is, you guys don't have someone now. So what are you doing with yourself to, like, keep from being triggered, maybe from certain, things that us women have emotionally, to keep a balance with when someone new does come near. So the issue is not you, and if it is them, it's like probably easier to get rid of.
Well, for me, it's just whenever I do feel like something's triggered me, I will have a conversation because I want to understand what's going on to make me even feel any type of way. Now, when I first started interacting and bringing women into my relationship, I had a lot of jealousy because I wasn't even aware of what I was really getting into until I started. And then I was like, this is weird for me. I'm feeling like things are changing. However, that was just my perception. That was me making issues when there really weren't. So at this point, when women come, it's less for me even like there's no jealousy anymore. At this point, for me, it's whether or not the woman truly wants to bond with the both of us, and not just my husband. Because, like I said, there's women who come who literally just want to be with the man. Now, that's not the relationship we're creating for ourselves. It's not just about Shaka building with these women. It's about us building as a collective together. So for me, at the end of the day, if I'm ever triggered or if anyone's triggered at any point, we talk about it, and we express ourselves about it, and we come to the root of that, and we overcome it. And I've overcame a lot of the things that trigger people when it comes to this type of lifestyle. I've been able to overcome a lot of it within myself. However, there's still things I'm still overcoming within it. But it's just about, for me, it's just about it's just about talking about it and making sure that we don't go to bed holding on to any type of anger or jealousy or whatever it is. It's just about communication.
You just read my brain because I had like I didn't want to ask you like 1,000 questions, but you read my brain because I was thinking it's about communicating. One last thing, do you try to like more communicate just on GP versus waiting till something come from, I guess what I would say prior experiences, just like how like how what you just said is very educational for the next female to come, because when we're aware of something, then it makes it better. So it's like, is that something that you try to like teach the young ladies that come into you and Shaka's, zone, to where you try to, preach that, look, let's stay balanced. You guys feel any type of way, communicate, and then it makes the
Yeah, I
person more
always
open.
I always tell them, like, if there's any time you feel something, talk about it. I always tell the
I
women,
couldn't hear you, love.
yeah, I always tell the women that we got to talk about it. If there's ever an issue, I always tell women that the women need to come together first. I think it's really important that when there's an issue, that the women come together and we handle it first. Because I feel like once you bring the man into it, it becomes something bigger sometimes. So for me, I always tell the women when they come in that we need to make sure we have a strong bond and that we can always handle our business and not have to bring the man into it. Because once the is brought into it, he might make us all, we might all be in trouble at this point, you know what I mean? So yes, I always tell the women, if we got a problem, let's talk about it together first. Now if we can't heal it together, then we can bring the man into it, but we got to do it together. We got to overcome anything that we're going through. Any If you feel jealousy, if we feel anything, let's talk about it together.
That's right. And thank you for your patience and taking the time out to let us all be able to, ask you your questions from experience,
Right.
or even, just from now what you're going through. We appreciate that.
I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. I love myself.
I love myself.
I'm through, y'all.
Lower self gain. Okay, Mama Zane, I think the sister here, Nicole, has a question for you too. Nicole, how are you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody on the panel?
We in
I'm
the
All
well.
building
right.
for the
I'm good.
twin. You got any questions for
21
Mama Zane?
twin. Yes,
Uh,
I do.
all right,
Peace
that's
and
what's up.
peace and blessings to you, Mama Zine.
Thank
I've
you.
been listening to you every time y'all have a build, and I see you as a very strong and intelligent woman, and that's a great thing. I was going to ask, so as you were, getting older, growing, did you see yourself being in a poly relationship like at a young age, or did that just something that happened, like as you got older?
So as a child, I grew up with a pastor for a daddy. So I grew up thinking I was gonna be Christian forever. I was gonna go to college. I was gonna get a job, and then I was gonna get my own house, and then I was gonna get married, and then I was gonna have children. Now that's what I saw for
Okay.
myself. None of that happened. I dropped out of college. I got pregnant. I got married.
Mhm.
Um, and I started this whole journey I'm on now. So, but as a child growing up, I did resist certain thoughts that I had in my head, like an attraction towards women. I resisted that within myself. So once I started this journey, I was really able to open myself up to any and all the ideas I may have had at some point in my life. And one of those ideas was polygamy, or at least uh, having an attraction towards women, and I had a conversation with my husband, like, I'm willing to, because I'm willing to see what it's like to love a woman within this relationship. Because he also expressed that he wanted to see if polygamy was something we can do, and having started it, I enjoy it. I want to try, but I want to build a nation, like my own nation, so the
Right.
more individuals that I have, the better. So I feel like having a sister wife is great, because now I don't have to carry this load of this house on my own.
Okay. Um, that's what I was going to ask too. First, do you have any sister wives as of now?
As of right now, no.
Okay. Um, when you do go to choose a sister wife, is that something that you find the sister wife and then you bring them to your husband, and he sees if he likes it, or is it just something that y'all both sit down with and make a decision on who you're going to actually look at, or start to date, I guess?
I mean, right now, people come to us first. We don't really,
Oh, okay.
we haven't really looked for anybody. People actually come to us and express they want to be a part of it. So then that's
Oh,
when we have a conversation, like, okay, do we want to entertain this person or not?
right.
And at that point, it's more like I decide, like, let me just talk to this woman first. Let me see where her mind's at before we even bring her into our relationship to that
Hmm.
extent. We have to build, even all three of us have to have a conversation just to see if we can all have if we can all get along. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely have to have conversations, and just, build first to even see if that's something we can do.
Okay. In your past relationships that y'all may have had, did you notice any jealousy amongst the women or even your husband?
Yeah, in past relationships, absolutely. The first wife we had, it was a wild train. Okay, it was my first experience with bringing a woman into my relationship, and it was also her first experience with being in a triad as we had. So there was
Okay.
a lot of revelations of myself and what I had to truly um overcome if I was going to be in that type of lifestyle. And the biggest one was jealousy, because
Okay.
I grew up thinking monogamy was the way. So I had to adapt my mind to understanding that just because my husband is loving someone else doesn't mean he loves me less.
Right. Okay. Um.
So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. It actually it really does. It
Okay.
does a lot. Um. uh, there was one other question, but I can't remember what it was.
Right.
It was something with carbonation.
You
I
can
can't.
hold on for a second.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
You good.
I'll
You
just
good.
sit up and
Yeah, you can hold
yeah.
on.
Okay.
Just mute up for a second. Whenever it come to mind, then you can just ask.
Okay.
Riri,
Thanks.
what's going on, Riri? Uh-huh. Riri, what's going on with it? You on deck, Riri?
Hey,
Riri.
world.
Peace,
Can you
peace.
hear
How are
me?
you?
Hey, what's going
Loud and
on?
clear. Right. Uh-huh.
It's me.
Miss
No,
Meek, she
this Lena
dropped
world.
down.
I'm being team on the low too.
Okay, bet.
Can you hear me?
Kind of barely. You kind of going in
You're
and out a
low,
little
but I
choke.
Miss
can hear
Azeen.
you. Peace, queen.
Okay. Oh, I was
Can you
something
get
that
in a
wouldn't
little
happen.
stable? I need you to get in a little stable connection.
I'm trying. Okay.
I'm gonna see if she gonna come back. I'm gonna see if she
All
gonna
right.
come back, Mama Zine.
Okay.
Israel, do you have another question for Mama Zine?
Peace. So,
Peace.
Dean, I put my Instagram in the chat. I have two pages. It's in our private chat, though. The chat that's
Okay.
amongst
I
these members up here on the screen.
okay. Let me look. Cause let me
So,
just I'm gonna add you right
private
now.
and comments.
Okay, I'm gonna add you right now.
Okay, cool. I'm not
Okay.
gonna take over your live world because that's what's gonna happen if we start talking. You're gonna take.
Oh
All
no,
Okay,
you
you
don't.
could
No, no,
just hit
no.
me up in my DMs, okay?
right, I got you.
We'll have a scheduled bill. We'll have a
Okay, I'm
scheduled
looking
bill.
forward. So you
All
you
right,
can
bet.
see the information's in the chat too, so you can reach out to me.
Okay, that's peace.
All right, take care.
All right, you as well. You as well as the king.
Thank
All right. All right, indeed. Lady Leo. Lady Leo, you still on deck with us, right?
I'm right here.
Okay. Did we have any more questions for Mama Z?
I did. You know what? I know they've been talking her and Shaka to you and stuff and I don't want to be asking the same thing. I did kind of want to ask her some about Star.
Yeah, what's up? What about her?
Yeah, nothing personal, love. Star, I don't, Star cool, ain't got no problem with Star. But
Right.
I noticed, she had left with you guys, whatever the case may be, y'all was together, all
Right.
together.
Hmm.
What actually happened with that? It's like, y'all was in a relationship quick and fast, right? Quick. So, I noticed a lot of people do the polygamy stuff, right? And everybody be preaching it, but nobody really be holding no dog relationships unless it's the main two people who probably were already in it.
See,
And I look at,
I feel like there's this there's this concept that because you're polygamous that every relationship is supposed to work. At the end of the day, it's like a monogamous relationship. Sometimes you get with somebody, you're with them for 6 years, and you realize that it was like you have to separate. And it's the same thing with polygamy. Like sometimes you get somebody who you think is going to be there, but they're not going to be there. Like they decide that this isn't for them, and that's all that's happening. Is like we're
so,
kind of dating at the end of the day. We're still figuring out if this actually is going to work. And like for us, we happen to put it online so people can see like what we're doing. So when people leave suddenly, it's like, damn, why isn't it working? But at the end of the day, um, we're still like we're dating these people. We're learning these people, and through learning them, we realize whether they're for us or if they're not for us.
you know what? That was a good damn answer. I can't even fuck with you on that one. You said
Like
we're dating, and really, that's what it is.
that's
You
what
just
it
said the
is.
key thing, like you said, no matter whether it's monogamy or polygamy, you still got to get to know somebody. And of course, if it ain't right, you're gonna leave them alone, right? So
Right.
that makes 1,000 cents. All right, I ain't mad at that shit. Now back to the star thing, because I did actually two things at once. That becomes
Right.
confusing.
Mm-hmm.
What was it with Star? Was it just that y'all couldn't deal with Star? I know she had a lot of kids. Was y'all preparing? I'm asking too many questions.
Listen, I love children. I ain't got nothing about you. You can have 10,000 children, and I'll welcome them into my house because at least they can entertain each other, and I can get a break. But anyway, Star's a long story, and to put it short, like it just didn't work out for the three of us.
Okay. Long
For the
story
three of us,
short.
it wasn't going to work.
Okay. She was trying to dominate y'all. You ain't talking enough.
It is crazy because I was able to build with Star, and everyone always tells me, be careful with Star, be careful with Star," and they would say all these things about her, but I never like saw those things. However, I have to admit that I was Google-eyed in love, so sometimes you can miss those qualities in a person because you're looking at the things you love about them so much. So people always telling me she's doing this and she's doing that, but I didn't see those things. I saw Star as a genuine person. Like I loved who Star was. Like Star is a dope person, and I wish that people were able to really see who she was because I think that she was authentic and genuine, and she truly wants to heal herself and the people and the Black people. So
Okay. Well, it seems like you don't want to discuss too much. We could talk about 50 and his nasty ass all day, but I see you don't want to discuss too much about Star. So I ain't gonna be pushing you and shit like that. Some things is better left unsaid. Now you said
I gotta keep y'all guessing about something. Damn.
no, I want to keep drilling your ass, but I ain't gonna do you like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. You've been
All
having
right,
it been
Leo,
it
Lady Leo. I already know
it
what you about.
it been smooth up here for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to cause no damn ruckus and all that.
Okay,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
respect it. I respect it.
That's right. So one last thing I do want to ask about the kids, right? So little man, he little, baby Shaka little, right?
Yeah.
So as y'all keep progressing throughout life with doing this, of course the kids wondering, like they do, whether the parents is both gay, whatever. Like you said, don't matter. Daddy got a lot of women around the kids, mom got a lot of men. You personally, in your situation, how do you guys plan on being able to explain it, Zine, like just showing him the about explaining the polygamy so he can understand with the people that might come in and out.
Well, I'm gonna just tell them how we see it. So the reason why we're polygamous is because we want to build a tribe, and we feel like when it comes to building a tribe, you need people, right? And it's best when you have women helping each other. I think women need to be there for each other, and having other women in my relationship is cool because we can help each other with the household duties. So not one person feels overwhelmed with having to take care of everything in the house. Now we have help, and we just really want to build a tribe. So when it comes to talking to my child about it, I'm gonna let him know like we are what we're about, and we are about a tribe like people. We want to build a community within ourselves so we could be self-sustainable, self-sufficient, and be detached from the government. And he's going to learn that just by watching us mostly. But when the question gets asked, when he looks at other people and he looks at us, I'm just let him know like we're different. We think differently. We feel like having women in our relationship is a benefit. It's adding to us. Yeah.
That's right. You said the key. You always say what I'm thinking that, somebody want you to answer a
You gotta
certain
put
way,
the
and you said
password
the
in
key word.
the
He's
Wi-Fi.
watching you. So if you
Right.
don't have a bunch of foolery like the carbonation infestation cap over there, if y'all not running like that, of course, and it is positivity, whether it's 5 wives, 10 wives, or 10 wives, or 2 wives, or just you. You know what I'm saying? He still see just love and harmony. You know what I'm saying, y'all? And
Right.
so that makes it all okay. I ain't gonna ask a
Yeah,
thousand
and
more questions.
I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like at the end of the day, I don't want to hide anything from my child because he's going to be exposed to it at some point in his life, and I'd rather him learn it from me.
And you shouldn't. And his daddy named Shaka, and y'all talking about the tribe Zulu. So go show him who Shaka Zulu is. He had 100 concubines. You know,
Yes, exactly.
you know what I'm saying? That's all good. I know
Every
history.
person has their own way of doing the thing. Some people just want concubines. You feel me? Some people just want to procreate with the women and just get them pregnant and have babies. You
Yep.
know, and I also feel like women are good because sometimes I get tired. That shit doing it by yourself. For me personally, I be getting tired and I enjoy the help and I just enjoy women.
You sound
Now they
like
don't have
Velvet
to be a
now.
wife. They don't even have to be a wife.
You hear me?
Just
I'm
help me.
teasing. You sound like Velvet because she had a bunch of help over there. You like, I want some help like Velvet. Everybody catered to baby Shaka.
Star wanted you and not him.
Okay. Okay. I'm through, y'all. I don't want to be taking over somebody else. I see another person here at the bottom. Well, they probably want to ask something up under me. Nicole.
Add on the code. I was sitting here eating and enjoying the convo. But yeah,
That,
that's dope.
yeah, I
Nicole,
was too.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sitting here
okay, well,
eating.
good, y'all. I ain't trying to go hard. Like, what's the point of me drilling her and she's
Yeah,
patiently
yeah,
like,
I
this is
get it.
not, it's roast and report, yeah, but
Right,
it's about
right. But
respect
I
too.
mean, I feel like she's giving out a lot of information, not only about carbonation, but about polygamy and all that. Because I always had the impression that it was just a let's see how many wives I could get, and we'll just do this and do that. And
Yeah,
it seems to
people.
be like there's a more like a true sister wife kind of situation. We
Yeah,
all gonna
Hmm.
take
we're
part in
people
taking care
think
of
it's
these
just about
kids and keeping this
sex, and
house.
it's not even about the
Right.
sex. People think it's
Which,
about the sex.
Exactly.
That just happens to be
yeah.
a facet of a relationship. No, it's truly about building a tribe and building a community.
So
And
when you
women just
Exactly.
do
happen to like us.
so when you do have like you have your sister wives or your little tribe, uh, do y'all bring in or will y'all eventually bring in men and women into your tribe to make like a full tribe, or will it be just you, your husband, and then your sister wives?
Now we want to make a real tribe where we have
Okay.
families with family
Okay.
units. Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now
men
do
and
you
women are welcome. And you don't have to
how?
be a wife. Like you don't need to be a wife.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
just be an individual.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you, because
Okay.
ain't none of y'all married with no white man papers. No, I'm just playing. Spiritually married.
Now, when you do have a wife, hopefully this don't sound too personal because I'm not trying to get in your personal business, but uh, is it like y'all make time? Your husband makes time for you, and then he also makes time for the other wives, right?
So for me, I think it all happens naturally.
Okay.
Because for example, I could be in the kitchen cooking. I could be the one cooking for the day, and that's the time for the other woman or women to be able to build Shaka on their own. I feel like it all
Okay.
comes with just the circumstances. Like one of us could go out to the store shopping, the other one just is there and able to do that. Now, for me
Okay.
personally, I want to have it where we have like specific date nights. Like this week, me and my man go on a
Hmm.
date, or this week, and the wife go on a date. Like I feel like that's also needed, and just to be able to get out of the house, get away from the children if need be, and just be able to just build individually, because it's
Right.
important that we all have our individual relationship with each other,
Right.
but
Right.
still have that community relationship.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Okay, Mama Z, you know how to answer them questions, girl. That's everything I'm thinking that they need to be if it's gonna be successful. It's like some organization, and you said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and that sounds like what they have. Like
I
they
mean,
they
Oh,
have
people.
they
some.
doing what it do. They
Oh
doing what
yeah,
it do. It just
it's obvious.
they got caught up. That's all that it is. People
Yeah.
get
People.
caught up in all type of shit. You probably know about or heard about. Just another
Hmm.
situation. That's all it is. Nicole,
Yeah.
do you got any question for Mama Azeen? Why we got her here?
Let's see. If any of the ladies from Carbonation decided that they didn't want to be there anymore and wanted to come and join your tribe, would you allow them to?
I mean, that's a hard question to answer. I would have to have a conversation with them, really.
Yeah.
Now,
To
I'm
see
not
where they
against
head to.
helping. Like I would do my best to help them. Now, whether
Hmm.
or not they could join my tribe, we would have to have a conversation. Now, I will say that I appreciate people in carbonation like environments, because at least they know how to live with other people.
Right.
I
Right.
respect, so I can respect that they know how to at least get along in a tribe, even if they're gonna fake the funk. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
would just have to have a conversation with them. But I'm not in resistance.
Okay. So obviously, what we're seeing from Carbonation is the wrong way to do polygamy.
Absolutely,
Okay.
completely wrong.
Okay.
Completely, like that's not even.
Kind of figured that.
That's an
Kind of figured that.
example on who not to be, folks. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of
And
figured that.
I just want to come in real quick. It's really unfortunate that that's the example of what people have for
Yeah.
polygamy, because
Yeah.
when they see that and they think that's polygamy. This is why I don't call myself polygamous, because I
Yeah.
know a lot of people see that carbonation stuff, and I'm like, you are not about to think that's what's going on up in here. I will
Right.
be something else. I will call myself something else. But
Exactly. Listen, I'm all for it. Girl, come up with a new
yeah,
name. Let's just do it,
yeah,
because he's done
but
tainted
Yeah.
the community.
yeah, yeah. And it's unfortunate because there are so many ways people who look like us can really come together
Yeah.
underneath this type of family structure. But when you
Hmm.
just see carbonation as your example, you want to
Yeah.
stay far from that. You don't even want to try to attempt it, you know? So yeah, please don't look at that as your, you know what? You can look at it as your example. You
Right.
can look at it as an example, because everybody is a reflection of either what you want to do or what you don't want to do.
Right. Right.
So when they really be on that peace reflection, like it's real. It's
It's
really
Yeah.
real.
real. It's
You look
really
at that
real.
part of the reflection and you can either turn toward it or you can turn away from it. You know, you can choose to live your life differently and more
Gotcha.
productively. Yeah, that should not be the only example. And I'm glad that we were able to talk to you a little bit and, share another side of what it could
Hmm.
be, because it's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
not that. That's just entertainment. That's
Yeah.
That's
entertainment.
just
Don't get me
entertainment.
wrong. There are a few gems that are dropped. There are a few gems that are dropped. There's a lot of gems that are dropped. But that's information we can all get. We're all capable
Yeah.
of achieving that information. So
I mean,
yeah,
he got that information from somewhere else. So just go
exactly.
to
He
his.
he might
What
have
I
Yeah.
too.
learned, what I did, I went to his sources. I stopped just going to him, and I went to the people
Yes.
he studied, because
Yep.
he got his information from somebody else. So I chose to study
Hmm.
his sources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny because when you look into those other people, you're like, oh, I see where he got this person's their kind of style from. When he
Where
goes
he
into
got,
the
yep,
philosophical mode and stuff like that, he becomes a completely different character. You're like, oh, I know who he's copying. You know what I mean? I
right,
know where he got that information from.
yep.
Sometimes I mean, like, I think there's moments that are real, but I think there's also a lot more fuckery that overshadows those real moments. So yeah.
Yeah. True
And
that.
I want to add one more thing while we mentioned as far as polygamy go. That fool just want to have sex with everybody to come over there. You can go on YouTube. There's white people, black couples, interracial. There's a lot of people who are living in polygamy successfully. And I've actually watched videos and people. One lady was living in polyamory. And she had a bunch of husbands. That's another story. But everybody has different jobs. Like one person help with finances. Maybe they have, accounting skills. One person might help cook. One person might help clean. So, it's just about everybody working together as a
Yeah.
unit. And in their mind, they know, okay, I've been trying to be with one person. It seems like they always with somebody else. So it's like, people find them ways just to be satisfied with life, but without settling. And polygamy is not a bad word. Cultures, Asians, Indian, they're people would marry their own family members. That's a whole nother story. So polygamy is not like some people like always start quoting Bible scriptures and this is evil and this is that. People
Mm.
were having multiple wives like a long time ago. Nobody was whining about you cheating with her,
Man,
you
people in
cheating
the
with
Bible
him.
had multiple wives.
Yeah.
Come on, exactly. So
People in the
point is,
Bible had multiple wives.
my point was just that there's a lot of great examples on the internet, and you can go see people who claim and look like they actually have successful lives living in polygamy, polyamorous and all of that other good stuff.
Right. I think
Okay,
that
Yeah.
I
was all
got
the questions I had.
okay. Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I got Yaya up here as well.
Peace,
What's going on,
Yaya.
Yaya?
How y'all doing?
I'm well. How are
We're
you?
great. What's going on?
I wanted to ask, well, since we've been talking about Nature Boy and talking about how he's a demon, Mama Azeen, do you feel like he has affected you spiritually? Like, were you having bad dreams? Um, were you
I
not
think
connected?
I think for me personally, I'm very strong in the sense that it takes a lot for people to affect me. The only people that are really able to affect me are people that I genuinely grow a love and passion for. So when it came to Nature
Mm-hmm.
Boy, like it was a very uncomfortable situation, yes. And when I left, I had a couple nightmares, but overall, I wasn't like I didn't have any real like issues to overcome when it came to that. I just had to overcome that disrespect initially.
Okay. And as far as abuse, like from Sabel, was Nature Boy also, like negative towards your child as well?
Yeah, he made me hit my child and lock him
Wow.
up in the room. That was not cool me because he told me my child was a low vibrational, like because I didn't have him in the tropics, and he told me he was a crybaby and stuff like that. And he was like, you need to He told me this is what he said. He said when baby Ellie was 3 months old, he was able to like he hit her or something so she could stop being like a crybaby. And in my mind, I'm like, that's not cool. She's 3 months. Crying is how children
Mhm.
communicate. So you can't shut down the child because they're crying. So in his eyes, you gotta reprimand your child. You gotta um stifle their communication because
Mhm.
children only communicate through tears until they get to that age where they can actually start talking. So for him to tell me that my baby's a crybaby and I gotta lock him in the room and I gotta spank him to get him to calm down, I'm like, no. What you're supposed to do is figure out why he's crying. Now, once you figure
Mhm.
out why he's crying, now if he's just being a crybaby, okay, now we have to figure out how to handle it. But I don't believe in hitting my child. I don't think that's
Mhm.
healthy for them. I don't believe in locking a child in the room until they fall asleep because they're crying. That's not healthy for them. That teaches them bad habits at an early age. That man don't know how to raise children.
Wow. All right. That was all the questions I had. World, I really appreciate what you're doing. Your panels, I've been watching them on repeat. There's been things that you picked up on that I didn't even realize. I really appreciate what you're doing for the Black community. Respect, brother. Respect.
No doubt. I appreciate you calling in. Always feel free to call in as well. Okay.
All right.
All
I'll be in
right.
the
Peace.
chat. All
Okay,
right.
that's what's up. Okay, peace. Indeed, indeed. Tierra up in the building. Tierra, you got any question for Mama Azeen?
Yes. Hi, Mama Azim. You look so
Hi.
beautiful. Oh my goodness. Your spirit is so warm. It's definitely like great to have this type of energy on your world. It's dope that you're bringing her on and she's open to speaking with everyone too. That's amazing.
Okay.
Um,
All
Mama
fact.
Azim.
Let me hold on. Let me
Go ahead.
interject for 1 second because I'm gonna step off for a second, Tierra, and I'm gonna be tuning in. You know what I'm saying? If you can moderate the panel for a second while I step off, you good though. You free to ask your questions to Mama Zine, okay?
Okay, cool. Mama Azeen, my most recent relationship was polyamorous. I'm personally I practice polygamy myself. Meaning I previously was dating a woman and man at the same time. And that was my first experience. It was really interesting. We dated for about 2 years. It was a difficult situation for me personally because I came into the situation outside looking in, assuming that, hey, if I walk into the situation um, unbiased and with all great intention, the woman would accept me. Um, she did in the beginning until she figured out, I guess she bit off more than she can chew because I think it was their first like full blown poly experience. And so my question for you is like, one, are y'all polyamorous? Are y'all, is it that, you date the woman and she isn't intimate with Shaka? Like, or you do whatever works for y'all? Because I know there's no rules to it. You kind of figure out what works for you. Do y'all plan on building I think you mentioned y'all were planning on building a tribe. I'm sorry, I'm just now coming in. But like, what blueprint are y'all going based on personally for you two?
So personally for us, we are we're only adding women into our relationship, no
Mm-hmm.
men. And it's all three of us. It has to be like a community thing.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think we were trying to do that similarly. I'm not in that situation anymore, but I think that's really dope. And you seem like you're really easygoing. I like your health. I love your healthy perspective on things. Definitely can relate to you, not in a sense of being a woman bringing someone into the situation, but going into the situation. I think you mentioned that you had to overcome your jealousy. Do you still have some things that lie dormant in you that you're still trying to like currently work through?
Um, right now I'm not so sure if I still have anything because I haven't been triggered with
Oh
anything.
yeah, makes sense.
I haven't experienced any triggers. I mean, the last person I had in my relationship,
Mhm.
that's a whole other story to be honest. Um, so I'm gonna just say this. Me personally, I think I've overcome a lot because I've been doing this
Mhm.
for about 2 years, and we had a sister wife for about 2 years, just like on and off.
Mhm.
But she was in the relationship for about 2 years, so I was able to
Mhm.
work on a lot within myself with that. And so jealousy is not something I have in me for sure.
Okay, cool. So, from personal experience, I have a question for you. Does it help if the woman that comes into the situation is really open if she see you're being triggered and y'all talk amongst yourself, or would you rather Shaka mediate the situation? Only because in my situation previously, I would try to go to the woman and talk to her with full transparency, like, hey, I see when I cuddle with him alone, it triggers you. I see if we leave to go to the grocery store to have intimate time, it triggers you. And she would lie and say she's good, but then tell him that she's triggered. And then I'm like, wow, we could have like nipped this in the bud. And I came to you openly to kind of nip it in the bud, but you blew it out of proportion. So I dealt with a lot of I guess, going behind my back. So how do you deal with like, how would you deal with your triggers in regards to you and her personally? Would you just have the conversation with her together, or would you bring Shaka into the situation?
So I definitely believe if me and a woman have a problem, we need to handle it first. It's important that we handle it
Hmm.
first because when Shaka gets involved, things get like we're all in trouble at that point. Like it doesn't matter
Yes, I
who it
experienced it.
is. Like we're
Yes,
both in trouble at that point if we can handle it.
yes.
So the one thing I do tell women is like we need to make sure that if we ever have a problem, we talk to each
Hmm.
other. Now, if the woman or
You went out of Zine. I don't know if you're muted or what. I don't know what's going
okay,
on.
yeah, I keep getting phone calls, but
Oh, okay.
saying that if the woman or even I have an issue with Shaka, I also feel like the women need to come together first as well, just because we want to make sure that if we do need to approach Shaka, um, we approach
Y'all
it
already
with
have
her.
your foundation. Like y'all
We
have
got to
your.
make
Meat and
Yeah,
potatoes
because
worked out.
when it comes to
Okay.
women, we're more emotional. When it comes to the man, he's going to be
Yes.
very intellectual about the situation. He's
Hmm.
going to be straight up like facts and objectivity about it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the women, we got to make sure. I want to make sure that the woman is approaching the situation and making sure that
Hmm.
it's not just her mind making the situation. You know what I mean? That it's really a problem that needs to be addressed. So
Or
at the
emotions. Sometimes I know emotions can drive us too. So yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly, we could just be caught up in our own emotions and get
Hmm.
and lose the actual facts and become subjective to the situation. So I feel
Hmm.
like the women need to help each other and build with each other and be there for each other so that we can always handle every situation as gracefully as possible.
Cool. Okay. Well, I don't want to ask you too many questions. I can go on and on and on. Is there anyone else that wanted to ask her questions?
Israel ready? Gone.
No, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if I wanted to ask or not, but I am shifting back to carbonation world.
Oh, we back to the jungle
Yeah,
now. Okay.
I got
All
you.
right,
I
we back.
got you. I got
Okay.
you.
All right.
It's
Let it
actually
rip. Let it rip.
it's a hard question for me to ask, and it may have already have been asked before, right? But as far as the violent scene between Nature Boy and Eliana, I'm actually I just feel the need to apologize that that was something that you had to witness, and I don't want to do the like, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that, right? Because you probably already did that to yourself. But what when you did have that conversation with yourself as far as like the shoulda, coulda, woulda, what came up in your mind as you processed and reflected on that?
I'm sorry. I missed the first half of that, but you're asking me. Sorry, can you repeat the question for me one
Yeah,
more time?
I'm asking about the violent scene that you witnessed between a Nature Boy and his wife or Eliana
Mhm.
Velvet.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to jump to the question of, well, why didn't you do anything? Because I believe that that's something that you probably already asked yourself in your head or processed. But what I really do want to know is what questions did you ask yourself after you processed or as you processed, as far as the should have, could have, would have, if,
Okay.
looking back on it. Yeah.
Well, looking back on it, my
Hmm.
perception about it was she's been going through this for a while now, and in
Hmm.
my mind, I'm like, people, you can't help people until they're truly ready for help. Like, and so I didn't help because I'm like, she's probably gonna go back, and if I help her, I'm going to be on the back end getting spanked now for helping. I'm going to get hurt now because I helped this girl. So that's in my mind. That's why I decided not to do anything, and I
Hmm.
decided in my head that if she really wanted to get out,
Hmm.
and if she reached out to me, I would help her. So for
Good.
me, I just said, this is her experience. It sucks. It's
Hmm.
sad because I've been where she's been, so I understand
Hmm.
that even if I was to help her leave, she may end up going back. And
Hmm.
I just felt like for me, I just told myself if she ever really truly wanted to get out and she needed help, I'll be there for her. But I didn't really put too much energy into it because I understood that she's been going through this for a while. She's left
Hmm.
and she's came back plenty of times. So I just told
Right.
myself like this is something that she's putting herself through right now. And when
Right.
she's ready to get out, she will get out.
Hmm. 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 That's a yeah. That's an interesting perspective. There's a lot of people who can get easily emotional about it, and it can be like oh my God, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. But for you to be able to realize that it's an unfortunate, it's an unfortunate part of her life that she's choosing to be in because she's been in this over and over again. And there's not much that you could do to really change that. And, you know, it is,
And
I don't like
also
saying
it
it
was
is what it
also
is.
the environment I was in because there was 20 other people there telling us to stay away. So it was like at the end of the day, I wasn't just having to battle off like Elijah off of him. It was going to be 20 other people as well.
Yeah.
And because I just see
Yeah.
that question pop up if somebody else is being like, I don't support abuse. I don't support like men putting their hands on women or even getting loud with the woman like that. For me, I expect the man to definitely step in. I'm going to go for the children. I'm gonna make sure the children are out of range for stuff like that. I feel like it's up to the man to truly step in, and I'm gonna be there for the woman. I'm gonna be there to help her. But at the end of the day, I try not to take on anyone else's emotions because I have my own things going on, and I don't want the responsibility of somebody else's choices being my responsibility now. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. It does. It does. And it also keeps you from getting too overly emotionally invested, you know. Everybody responds differently, and there's no right or wrong. Like, you know, it's another perspective as far as how do you respond to a situation like this. You know, we all have different trigger responses, so you
Yeah.
process yours in your own way. I am curious to know, like, what was it like interacting with her after that event, because I remember hearing that she had bruises and things like that. Like, did you have a chance to talk to her or check on her or anything like that?
So I rarely ever actually got the chance to engage with Velvet at all while I was there. Like I rarely actually talked to her.
Okay.
We were supposed to
Okay.
go over astrology together, but I never got the chance to actually talk to her. So
Um,
even after those moments, like the after she got hit, I didn't see her at all that day. The next day. And
okay.
then when she did come out, she acted like everything was normal and she was fine,
Okay.
and we just continued from there. So
Okay.
like I said, being in carbonation, there's no authenticity. You can't truly learn somebody's true feelings about a
Yeah.
situation because they're going
Yeah.
to paint the picture that Nature Boy wants them to paint.
Yeah. I was thinking about just Isabel's book where she was discussing the part where they were preparing to go to the mall or something like that, and then Nature Boy told her to cover up the bruises with makeup. And that was just so heartbreaking. You know, it was a nice gesture, but I was just like, oh, you know, like that was just,
I
yeah.
mean, it was hard to hear when she in Sybil's book when she was talking about how Velvet was in the bathtub crying because her head hurt so bad. Like, I was unaware of all of that. I was
Oh,
actually
I missed that.
unaware of a lot of the
I missed that
abuse
part.
going on because
Yeah.
I was kind of in the back a lot. So reading
Yeah.
that was just like dang, like she was really going through it while she was there. And then when I read that, I did wish I was aware because maybe I could have done something because I talked to Velvet after she left Carbonation and she was like, if y'all had told me you were leaving, I would have left with you. And in my head I'm like,
Really?
but would you really have though? In my mind I was like, but were you really ready to leave at that point? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like even if I
Yeah.
told you that right then and there I'm leaving, come with me, I don't really
Right.
think she would have because that wasn't
No.
that wasn't
But
her
it,
time. But
yeah,
I
it
do
wasn't.
feel like, damn, maybe I could have, taken her with me. I did feel like that.
Mhm. 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 Yeah, I always get curious about like what was her last straw, because just watching, it sounds like she kind of just dipped in the middle of the night type of situation. I'm like, what was it? What was the final like aha moment? Like, I'm out. You know what I mean?
And I think the final moment, actually, how she expresses it was July 4th for her. Basically, that was her final moment, but she had to be strategic again because she also expressed that Nature Boy took her passport and her her identification from her. So
Mhm.
you can't really travel without it. So she had to be smart. She had a baby with her as well. She couldn't just walk. She didn't want to just walk out with nothing when she has a child on her arm. So she was just playing the game until she was able to get out safely.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so is that what let me interject for a second. So is that what Shaka was talking about when you, him, and Star was live and he was saying that members of your camp they leaving right now. You don't even know it.
No, that when he was saying that, he was talking about Mente Syrian.
Oh word.
Yep, he was talking about
Oh
Mente
okay.
Syrian. 'Cause like I
So I
said,
wonder.
Syrian had hit me up a couple of days before they actually left, asking for help because they were saying that they didn't have any money, and they just wanted to get money before they left. So they had hit us up from this fake page. It was at first I didn't know who it was. I thought it was a joke, and I kind of ignored it. But yeah,
Wow.
it was Mente and Syrian who reached out to us asking for help.
That is so
Wow.
dangerous. It's so dangerous. But I mean, like, I'm
Wow.
I'm just I it's so sad. It's so sad. But I also feel like people put themselves in this situation, for whatever reason. It's their path, it's their journey. They have to learn something. They have something to learn, that they couldn't learn from YouTube, whatever it may be. So I'm not, I mean, I am one to judge, but I also can look at it from their perspective as well. Yeah.
Right. I'm grateful.
Well, Mama Zine, if there's any more, if there's not any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and then close out. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
I'm gonna allow for the sisters, you know what I'm saying, to have a, you know what I'm saying, closing statement to you, because we all are appreciative of having you for as long as we have had you tonight. This is dope for the
All right.
2020. So do y'all have anything else that you guys would want to say in closing to Mama Zine?
Ooh.
I did. It's
Um,
in my damn head, but that's okay. Ain't a big deal. Don't talk about it.
My bad, my bad.
I forgot.
You say what
I'm
happened now?
grateful.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I had slipped my head. I was waiting, but I forgot now. It's okay. She done had said a whole like a mouthful. I think I was gonna ask her something about spanking 50. I don't even remember y'all. That's okay.
Well,
I forgot
hopefully
too.
she'll be back. You know what I'm saying? That's Lady Leo right there. So, Mama Zine, hopefully if you do have time, you know what I'm saying, to come back and then build with us, she'll definitely be one of the sisters that'll be on the panel with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I'm
yeah,
appreciate you,
grateful.
Queen.
we appreciate you and your husband for being so open and honest, and
Yeah.
you
I
know,
appreciate the
don't dodge
platform.
any of our questions, and because we're learning a lot more from talking to y'all than
Right.
pretty much, the stuff that the others have said, where they kind of watered it down a little bit. So
I mean, I
we
just feel like they
appreciate
just
y'all.
really want to let go. They just want to move on from it. They don't want to
Yeah,
talk about it no
yeah,
more. But I want
yeah,
people to know that this man is not who he says he is.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
hey, she just made I just remember what I wanted to ask too when she said that. It came back. It was about the Messiah. I'm sorry, y'all. So I know you and Shaka didn't believe it was the Messiah. Uh, but as far as it goes with other people, how did you feel about everybody really believing like he was the Messiah?
I feel like, man, I'm my own Jesus. The reason why I stopped being a Christian is because I realized
Mhm.
that I need to stop looking for a savior. I need to save myself. So
Yeah.
my only issue with that is the fact that everybody is looking for someone else to save them when they have the tools to do it on their own. They don't need this man to save them. They could do it by themselves, and it's sad because now that they're putting him at this pedestal, he's taking advantage of them, and that's the
Yes,
fucked up part. At the end of the day,
exactly.
I feel like we're all our own Messiah. We've been given the information and the tools to do what the Messiah stands for. You know what
That's
I
right.
mean? So that's
That's
how I feel.
right. Thank
Like
you,
Nathan
Don.
Boy could be his own Messiah, but he don't need to be mine or nobody else's
That's
because
it.
no.
That's right. That's it, y'all. I remembered. I had to get it. Thank you
She
so much.
had to get it in there anyway.
I had to get it
Thank
in there
y'all.
anyway, y'all.
Right.
Yeah, because I
I'm
don't want
grateful.
Shaka flipping now. Yeah, because we done
Okay.
had you for 3 hours. This is
Man,
dope. You know what I mean? I'm definitely appreciative. Like I say,
time
I look
flies when you're
forward, you know what I'm
having
saying, to
fun.
you. Oh, that's what's up. That's why I say we look forward to you coming back. You coming back for 2021 or what?
Listen, we having the whole poly conversation. I gotta be there. I need to meet other like-minded people and have
So
conversations about it.
hey, we might kick in the door for the 2021. That might be the first day with the bill. I don't know.
I'm ready.
I don't
I'm
know.
ready.
All right. Well, I'll be in you and Shaka DM. You know what I'm saying? I hit y'all up. I'm gonna holler at brother Dekulu, the sister up here with brother Israel, and we'll go from there.
Great. I'm grateful.
Right.
Thank
All
you.
right, that's
Okay,
what's
thank
up.
you. Bye,
Thank you as
y'all.
Love
well.
myself.
Bye bye.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Lord,
Happy New
Lord,
Year,
self.
y'all.
Lord,
I love
Lord,
Happy
Lord,
myself.
New Year
self.
to everybody that came through. Lord, 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 self. You already know what it is, man. Lord, self game, man.
Gang, gang.